Greetings, brave adventurers. I am Indigo Specter. With me today are 4 of the staff of Heroes Rise. Fans of the shows will recognize names, but the faces will likely be unfamiliar. First up, we have one of the wisest adventurers in the land, a host of our show, Ryu.
Hi.
And who are you playing today, Ryu?
I'm going to be playing the Goblin Monk Frizzlefierce.
Temporarily leaving her post at the scrying pool, we have RaeRae. And I think you were muted.
I don't think so.
There we go.
There you
I picked
are.
that up. And who will you be playing today?
I am playing the Air Genasi Bard Amani Gale.
And our staff writer, we have here with us Gath Memvar.
Hello.
And who are you playing today, Gath?
I will be playing the human evocation wizard Lanthan.
And last but not least, we have joining us outside of the Audio Alchemy Lab, Branwen.
Hello.
And who are you playing today, Branwen?
I am playing the Tiefling Rogue in Kira.
And as you can probably guess, I will be your Dungeon Master today. So, as we begin here, please join me as I introduce you to an adventure. So, as we start, our brave adventurers have been running through the forest, uphill, 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 after having faced a series of groups of individuals from an army that had decided that they needed more recruits. So, in town this morning, this group of adventurers decided that they didn't want to be part of that and took off out of town. They've been running for most of the day and are fairly exhausted. At some point not too long ago, one of them spotted some smoke fires rising from the distance and decided that they would look for and see if they could find the town that those chimney fires were coming from. And as we are moving through the woods, up the hills and up the mountains, we find that our adventurers are fairly tired and exhausted. And as we move through here, we will... Who is taking the lead, do you think?
Well, I'm a monk, so I'm probably out in front.
So Frizzlefierce is leading the way and likely moving forward and back and forward and back and trying to keep all the rest of them up with the party. All of you are fairly injured as well.
I think there's a town over there. We need to stop and rest. I don't know about you guys, but I got hurt pretty badly back there.
Yes, I could use a nice long rest. I'm not feeling as well.
Oh, I have some pickles for that.
Oh, thank you.
And I get out my pickle jar and I pull out a rat leg and hand it to her.
Oh, well, thank you,
Chris,
I think.
Your pickles?
No problem. Goblin pickles are the best, aren't they?
I'll pass.
Oh my.
So as we move through here and get into a place where we are getting higher, you do approach a point where we have... where the path that you've been forging is intersected by a slight cliff face. So if I can have everybody give me an athletics check to climb this short cliff and see how we make it up and over.
Does it have to be athletics?
For climbing,
Nine.
Natural 20.
Natural 20.
Wow.
Non-natural 1.
17.
So we have Frizzlefierce approaching this cliff face first and looks at it and tries to go upward.
I totally
And
got this,
instead-
you guys.
Falls backward on their back right in front of the rest of you.
Oh, that cliff face is way slipperier than I thought.
At which
just-
point,
You just have to find the right footholds. That's how you do it. Here, let me show you.
and Lanthan just basically spider climbs up this 15-foot cliff, and Inkira follows right after.
Come on, Frizz.
That's
One
only
step
15
at a
feet. I can
time.
do this.
Can I just run up it? Because that's way better for me.
At this point, yes, go ahead.
Because that would be... If we're going off of acrobatics, I've got a +7 in that.
Yeah, you eventually do make it over with the group here as you're looking at, as you look down into our next map here, which is a small canyon pass. The sounds of the army behind you have long since passed, and looking ahead, you do see the smoke rising from what are very likely chimneys.
I'm pretty sure we lost them, guys. We can probably go slower now.
Think we can stop and do some healing?
I wouldn't mind finding a nice inn somewhere and taking a nice long rest.
Frizz pops the lid off her pickle jar and offers it to Amani.
I was thinking more along the lines of a spell.
Yeah, to each their own.
And she grabs out a rat toe and starts chewing on it.
It's crunchy.
Inconspicuously, Inkara takes the rat leg that Fizz gave her and tosses it off to the side.
Can I roll for perception on that?
Give me a sleight of hand and perception.
Sleight of hand. $17.
Okay, I rolled a 13.
So, Frizz never saw Inkira actually eat it, but it seems to be gone.
Okay.
Oh, that was
So-
tasty. That was just so tasty.
I know goblin pickles are really good.
So while they are having pickle extravaganza over there, I'm going to go ahead and attempt a perception check with a roll of, let's see here, that's going to be a grand total of 3 to see if anything is around in the area ahead of us. I'm going to take a wild guess and say probably not.
While he's
you
doing
don't
that,
notice anything, and you don't notice any footsteps of any kind here as well. I mean, you did just climb over a cliff and lower yourself
It was
briefly
very
down into this
exhausting.
canyon.
while they're messing with goblin pickles and perception checks, can I cast Healing Word on myself?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, no, I don't. 3.
3 total?
That's what I rolled. I mean, not for the effect. I rolled
Okay.
to see if, just casting it.
No, with Healing Word, you automatically succeed.
Oh, it
in
just
casting.
goes.
Yep.
All right,
Mhm.
then I need a D4.
Yeah, 5th edition doesn't make you have to roll to see if you can
Oh,
manage
that's
it.
good.
You just do.
So that will be, a total of 3 anyway, because I rolled a 1 on my D4. So apparently that's my number.
Fantastic. So you gain 3 more hit points up to a whopping, what was that, 12?
Yeah.
All right. So the campfires, the chimney fire smoke is ahead of you. It is rather late in the day. You've been running and hiding on and off pretty much all day.
How far away would you say our characters think it is from our position to the smoke that we're seeing?
At this point where you are, we're talking half a mile at most, maybe.
Okay, so we're pretty much
fairly close, yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I'd say if everyone else is ready for a nap, let's get to the town and take a nap.
Sounds good to me.
Sounds good to me too.
Is Frizzle Fierce leading the way through the canyon again?
Oh yes, she is also looking for things like lizards and stuff that she can grab and put in her pickle jar.
Okay, give me a perception check.
That is a 19.
Okay. So, as you're moving through here, likely off to the sides a bit, looking for rocks and things where you might find lizards or bugs or something, it is a bit higher altitude, so you're unlikely to find any lizards. You do find a couple bugs that you might pick up and gather and put into your pickle jar if bugs are to your liking. But
These are
as you're
goblin
doing
pickles,
that,
man. Anything goes in here.
you do notice that the ground in front of you starts to shake a little bit, and I need everybody to roll initiative.
Oh,
Guys, I think something's coming.
Okay. 14 for me.
Same. Also 14.
6.
17.
Okay. 17, 6, 14, and 14. Who's got the better initiative? So,
Initiative.
Mine is
Dex.
+3.
And mine's +2.
okay. So we will put Amani at 15 and Lanthan at 14 to make this easier.
Perfect.
So, Frizzle Fierce, you notice, let's see if I can do this. About here, can you see the indicator?
Mm-hmm.
You notice that the ground has started to rumble and shake, and something may be moving underneath the soil here. And it is your turn to act.
Okay. So Frizz is going to make a running jump onto this rock over here and yell back at the party.
Fantastic.
Guys, what?
I said fantastic. Sorry.
Guys, there's something under the dirt. Get up on a rock if you can. Or maybe in one of those trees.
And Kira climbs up into the tree as swiftly as she can.
Gotcha. We will do that here in a moment, but I believe you are at the bottom of initiative. Okay. So, after Frizzle Fierce jumps up there...
Sorry.
That's okay. We see coming out of the ground. Not something that big. Let me fix that. A creature that has weird insectoid pinchers for legs. It has a large gaping maw with rows of teeth and a tongue that seems to constantly taste the air. And it will make a strike at Frizzle Fierce. Okay, that is a 13 to hit.
Miss.
And that is a 12 to hit. So, it misses you with both of its front pincher claws as it comes out of the ground and tries to attack. And that brings us to Amani.
I believe I am going to whip out one of my flutes and cast Dissonant Whispers to maybe, I don't know, throw this thing off its game.
That is a wisdom saving throw?
Okay. Yes.
Is it? Okay.
Yes.
And the DC is... or spell DC.
Still trying to get used to this character sheet. It's set up differently.
Sure.
13.
Okay. It does succeed, so I think it takes half damage. So go ahead and roll 3d6.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
I
need to not move that. Go ahead and roll 3d6, and I will half the damage there.
All right. That is 11.
And that brings us to Lanthan.
I would like to roll a history check to figure out what kind of creature this is and if there are likely to be more of them.
History...
Using it as a substitute for like a lore check or something.
Actually be an Arcana check.
Arcana? Okay.
Yep.
That is a 19.
Yes. This is a monstrosity that tends to run in packs. This one is an adult, and you expect smaller ones to be nearby.
But not, so concept but not name.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep, missed that by one.
Oh, of course. All right, then in that case, let's try and get out of dodge here. Let's see here. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm going to try and stand on top of that branch. Branch, tree trunk, whatever, to try and stay off of the ground.
You climb up on higher ground wherever you can find it. Gotcha.
Correct. That's my turn.
And that brings us to... These are going to be big, aren't they? There we go.
I was going to say,
there for a minute.
A big creature.
It's like, oh boy, here come the big nasties.
I thought maybe that was like the daddy of the baby.
Nope. This is the this one is the adult, and these are the little guys.
Oh dear.
That will come out of the ground.
They're kind of cute.
I regret not holding my turn.
They're probably not
And
that
I'm
cute.
going to have to move the map
Probably
here
not.
just a little bit because there are a couple more of these little guys, and they will stay little guys.
Every time they come out huge, it makes me jump. It's great.
So we will have some coming up here. And then we've got a few. They're technically small, but can only hold one space. So coming up on Frizz. So we'll do the attack on Amani first. Get that one. That's an 11 to hit. And Kira is also an 11 to hit.
That does not hit.
And then on Frizz, that's an 8. That one is a 13, which I believe also misses.
Correct.
That one, however, is a 24 to hit.
That unfortunately hits me.
For 6 damage. Rolled high on that.
Ow.
That one misses again. And that one is a 13 to hit.
Miss.
That still misses. Okay. That brings us to Inkira. You've got one of these little things on you here.
Oh boy. Okay. Well, I'm taking it. It can see me, so I can't do a sneak attack, which is unfortunate. But I will use my dagger and 16 plus 6.
That is a hit.
22. Okay, so 1d4 plus 3. So that's 4 points of damage.
Okay. You definitely heard it. It looks like it is significantly injured by that, but it doesn't quite kill it.
Oh, okay. That makes me feel better. I think that's all I can do. Let's see, bonus action. If I have 2 weapon fighting, does that mean I get a second attack, or...?
Yes, this would be with your offhand dagger, so it would not get the extra +1. It's the non-magical item, but you can use your second dagger, and it would just do 1d4 damage.
Okay, so then add 1 to the damage I just did, because I didn't know I was using my +1 dagger.
Right, okay.
Okay, and then I'm going to go and do my second dagger, which is 6 plus 6. So it's 12?
12 will unfortunately miss with the offhand.
Okay. Then I'm going to stay where I am.
Okay. That brings us back to Frizzlefierst. What does our little goblin friend do?
Okay, I am going to spend a key point and use Step of the Wind to disengage and come back this way. And, I'm sorry, hold on. Here. And then I'm going to use my attack action I have 2 attacks on attack action. So I'm going to punch the big one in the face.
Okay.
At least attempt to. Exactly. Trying to get this to actually roll. There it is. Maybe. Okay, I'm just gonna... This then. That is a 13 to hit it.
The big guy, 13, will not hit.
Okay. In that case, and I'm going to open my mouth and exhale some fire breath on them.
Okay. What is the area of that?
It is a 20-foot cone or a 30-foot line. I'm going to go with the cone because I want to try to get most of them. Okay, and it's save DC of 13.
Okay, so do you want to get all the little ones or include the big one and...
I wanted to try to get all of them, but...
From where you're standing, a cone won't actually hit all of them.
Yeah. As many of them as I can, at least.
Okay,
let's do
so you can get the 4
ones.
little ones. Yeah. That one is a 15. That one's a fail. That one's a fail. And that one's a fail. So only one of them succeeds.
So that is 10 fire damage or 5 on the success.
Okay. So what does it look like as our goblin friend incinerates 3 of these?
They burn to a crisp, and Frizzlefierce prematurely gets her pickle jar out and then goes, oh, right, and puts it back into her pocket.
That works. Now we go to the larger version of it here. And this one is not particularly happy about you getting rid of 3 of its offspring. Although... Okay.
I mean, they attacked me.
Well, yeah, absolutely. The first one missed, but the second one hit. For 6 piercing damage.
Ow. I mean, I
brings
know that
us
you're
to-
mad, but I mean, you tried to hurt me first. You know, I'm just trying to defend myself.
And that brings us to our Air Genasi friend, Amani.
Hello. I would like to yell out a motivational speech for everybody.
Motivational speech.
That is a 3rd level.
It is, but the casting time is 1 minute.
Oh, okay. How close is this little one to me?
He is right next to you.
He's right next to me?
Right next to you.
Well, then I suppose my next best choice is to just stab it with my rapier.
Okay.
Let's see if I hit it. 11?
11 will not hit.
Darn it.
Staying where you are?
I think I must. I don't have anything to avoid an attack of opportunity.
Okay. So that brings us to Lanthan.
Let's do most minute meteors.
That's a fun one.
I now have 6 tiny meteors orbiting around me, and I'm going to cast 2 of them. Let's see if I can do. That's going to be a little bit too far. So I know it's the weird 5-foot rules. If I drop one right here, will that be sufficient for 5 foot to hit this one? I'm betting probably not.
No, no, because it would drop on those 4 squares there.
These 4 squares right here. Okay, so I cannot hit both of those. Then in that case, I'm going to drop it right here, try to take out the big one. And then I'm going to drop a second one right here because I can only shoot 2 of them at a time. So this guy and this guy need to make a DC 15 dexterity saving throw.
Dexterity saving throw.
As a quick note, I am an elemental adept with fire, ignoring fire resistance.
Perfect. Okay. So the big guy misses. He couldn't get out of the way in time. The little guy succeeds.
Okay. Then it is 10 damage on a failed save or half damage on a succeeded one.
Okay, so that one is this one. So the big guy takes 10, the little guy takes 5. And all of these enemies now are looking hurt. Plus the 3 that are just disappeared.
Okay. And that'll be my turn.
Okay. Brings us to the little ones. This guy will run up on Frizz. And that is a miss, even with advantage. The dice are in your favor this today. We will roll one on Amani. That is a 16 to hit.
Ooh.
Which I believe does.
Yes.
Which will do... Oh, no. We will not do the big guy's damage on you. We will do the little guy's damage on you.
Ah.
Thank you.
That is still 5 points of damage.
Ouch.
And the next one will attack in Kira for a 19 to hit.
That's a hit.
I think I jinxed you all, sorry. And that one is 4 points of damage.
Okay, I believe... Hold on 1 second. Okay, I'm going to use Uncanny Dodge and have the damage. And that was 6, so it's only 2, yeah. Okay.
And then it does bring us to your turn. You get to respond to this little thing that slashed at your ankles.
Okay. I'm going to use my +1 dagger for my first strike. And it's a 13 plus 7, so that's a 20.
20 will hit.
And I take it that hits. Okay. And that is for 5 points of damage. Then I'm going to do my second dagger.
You stab through that one and kill it.
Yay! Yes, well, that's what you get for messing with a tiefling. Impudent pup.
And so you do have your bonus action and your movement left.
Yes, I do. I'm going to move over to... Let's see, that's... Yeah, I can move over to where Armani is and use my bonus action for my second attack on that little one that's attacking her.
Okay.
Okay, so 17 plus 6, that's got to be a hit, right?
Yes, 17 plus 6, definitely.
So it's 7 points of damage.
Your offhand attack wouldn't benefit from your dexterity, so what was the die roll?
4.
That's just enough to kill it, too.
Hooray.
So we see our tiefling over here stab down into both of those that were at the back and handle both of those.
Are you okay, dear?
Barely. Barely.
We'll get you some help soon. Hang in there.
And that brings us once again back to Frizz in the front.
Fizzle is going to attack the big guy again. And that is a 13 to hit, which I don't think does. I'm sorry, 15. That's 15 to hit.
15 does not hit them.
Okay.
No.
And that's a 19 to hit.
19 does.
Okay. So I keep moving my page around. That is a 9 for damage.
Okay.
And then I'm going to use my bonus action to down a potion real quick.
Okay.
I forgot about that.
And that brings us to the big guy again.
Oh, no.
And since there are still 2 of them, it will get advantage on this attack against Frizz. For a 21 to hit on the first strike.
I don't like that.
For 6 points of damage. And a 17 to hit on the second strike.
Oh, that does hit, unfortunately.
For a minimum 4 points of damage. And it is just laying into Frizzle. They're trying to take her down. That brings us to Amani.
Okay.
You are free and clear right now.
Okay. I am all over the place. I'm going to throw a quick shock bolt at the big one that's left.
Okay.
Okay. And that's a 17 that I rolled.
17 will miss.
17 will miss. Good grief. Oh, plus 4. So
21 will hit.
21 will hit. Yay. All right. So 2d10 for damage is 14 damage. 2d10.
And this one sizzles away
Yay.
as the lightning
Good
takes
one.
over it.
Good shot.
Any other piece? You gonna move? You gonna stay where you are? Okay, that brings us to Lanthan.
All right, I'm going to fire another one here, and depending on how the thing is doing, I may fire a second one. So it'll be a DC 15 dexterity save.
It does succeed.
Okay. So that'll be 6.
Is that already halved?
No, that is not halved.
Okay.
And
so
then I'll
3
go ahead.
points does not take it out.
Okay, then I'll go ahead and fire the second one. Again, DC 15.
It succeeds again, but your minimum damage is going to do it.
All right, perfect.
Good job.
And that gets rid of all these ugly little creatures, and you are out of initiative.
Well,
Thanks,
that
guys.
was interesting.
Let's go that way. Let's go that way quickly before more of these little bug things pop up.
Just a second.
And Friz Friz gets out her little knife and starts cutting off pieces of these things and putting them in her pickle jar.
More pickles? Come on, let's go. It's nap time.
How many of those jars do you
Wait.
have?
Waste not, want not, right?
So
Yeah,
a couple
that
of
is
these are
good
cooked,
question.
a couple of them aren't, and one of them is strangely cooked without charring.
Interesting.
It all goes in the pickle jar just the same.
Friz, darling, do you think you can hurry? More might come back.
Okay, she gets a few claws and some tongues, and she's good.
Okay. And you all rush forward with haste, and within about 10 minutes over this rocky terrain, you approach what appears to be a small house or two that overlook almost a canyon or a cavern. Not cavern, a canyon in the mountains. There's a depression there, and there's a bridge that crosses over it into what appears to be a small mountain town.
Finally.
Forward.
And as you get closer, you do see a couple guards that are posted on this side of the bridge. And
Guards again. Do you think they're gonna make us join their army too?
That's what I was gonna
Oh, I
ask.
hope not.
these do not
yeah.
appear to be anything like an army. They are very obviously just townsfolk that have weaponry. But as you approach, they stop and ask, "We don't see many people come from that direction. Where are you all from?"
What was the name of the town that we just came from?
Weren't we running?
Yes, you were. You all were running from...
Do we want them to know where we came from?
You don't have to tell them that.
Well, is there a town nearby that we would know that we could give them the name of it, just, fictitiously?
Absolutely. And for where we are, it doesn't really matter. So you can pick a name out of your hat and
We've come
provide
from
that,
Hamlin.
and it's true.
What was the name of that town?
Hamlin.
Hamlin.
That's on the other side and down the mountains from here.
Yeah, we've been walking and climbing for a while.
Really tired. Do you have an inn?
We do, and they will welcome anyone who wants to come in and ease their tension and relieve their pain. So, any rest and relaxation you want, the town is more than happy to have you.
Wonderful. Maybe I'll provide them some music while we're there.
You guys seem really nice. Here, have some of my pickles. And she pulls out an egg and a carrot and hands them to each of these guys.
Don't eat it. Don't eat it.
They will say thank you, and each just reach out and take it with 2 fingers after having looked at the other ones behind there. And one of them will look and say, I will eat this later, not while on duty.
Probably a good idea.
And you all proceed over the single file bridge into our town. So this is a large map, and you are all off at the right-hand side.
Down here?
Oh, yes, there we are.
It's coming. There it is. Okay.
We're so tiny.
Where are we?
We are way
Far
down
right
here.
bottom.
Far right bottom. Oh, wow. We're teeny tiny.
I will zoom the map a little bit in there so you all can see. And still have most of the key elements of the town there where it's visible. As you're entering, you notice these are simple stone buildings that are built up here. There seems to be water that's coming out of the cliff face. We'll call this south because that's easier. Out of the cliff face to the south. And it works itself into a pool here and then falls off to a waterfall at the other end, which you can hear from where you are.
So the water flow is like this then?
Yes.
You can see my little
So the
laser
water's
pointer.
flowing north.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, gotcha.
And like I said, simple stone buildings around you. Most of them appear to be homes, but there are some shops and crafter things. Just a small town in the mountains. It has a bit of everything.
Well,
As you enter town, I will need a saving throw from each of you.
what kind of saving throw?
Yep, that would be nice if I could get that pulled up here on the screen.
I mean, I'll throw
It
d20s
is
if you want me
just
to.
Just throw all of them.
We will call it a wisdom saving throw. There we go.
Oh, no.
Here we go.
That's not good.
And my die roll off the table. Try that again.
17
Okay.
for me.
18?
18,
yeah,
okay.
18 for me as well.
5.
Oh no. Aren't you
And
supposed to be
for
the
a moment it
wise
was
monk
15?
to lead us?
I think
you know
she's just a
how-
hit things monk.
Yeah. You know how your digital dice hate you?
Yeah.
My physical dice hate me.
Oh no.
Do you need some
So-
dice jails?
Frizzle Fierce, as you enter this town, you no longer feel as if the pains in your body are actually hurting you, and you don't really care anymore about whatever it was that you were running from. That seems to not really matter anymore.
Ow, I don't know what it is, guys, but I feel really safe here.
So, would we have felt something attempting to impose on us when we made those saves?
That's a good question.
Mm-hmm.
You would have felt like maybe maybe at the back of your mind that you wouldn't be certain that something did, but you might start to question, okay, this place seems a little bit strange.
Okay. And then based off of her response, I'm going to go ahead and do an Arcana check and figure out what in the world's going on here.
Sure.
And my die just fell off the table again. There we go. Let's do a 26 Arcana.
Okay. You definitely suspect that there is a spell that you basically walk through a barrier where it existed, and that as you enter here, something is messing with the way people feel.
So kind of like a dampening field.
Kind of like a dampening field, kind of like it feels similar maybe to calm emotions, but not exactly that.
Okay.
So Frizzle just starts skipping through the streets, even though she still has some blood running down her arms.
Oh no.
I feel
There
great,
she goes
guys.
again.
Let's slow down, Frizz. Why don't we all stick together and go find an inn and take a nap? Like 10
I don't think I need one.
hours. No, trust me, you do.
No.
You're tired.
I don't feel tired.
Trust me.
How about you come back to the inn and listen to me play my flute? Would you like that?
I don't know, you haven't really played very many goblin ditties, and I really like those more than the stuff you normally play.
Well, then come back and teach me one.
I can do that.
It's a deal. Come on.
So as you're moving through the street here, you find yourself
Skipping.
following
Skipping through
a
the
few
streets.
people.
Skipping.
As Frizzle is skipping through the streets and everybody else is wondering what is going on and how they can prevent Frizzle from skipping into danger, you find yourselves following a few townspeople a little bit up north, and you hear the sounds of typical inn and tavern sounds from right up here.
Building 41?
41, yep.
Okay.
And you find yourselves walking in to a tavern that is fairly busy with just various kind of random townspeople. They are, based on their clothing and attire, this is definitely a mining town of some type. You imagine that there is an entrance or two into the mountain behind you that is a mine. But you see two servers moving around the room. You see a large Goliath behind the counter there that seems to be tending bar. And the room is yours as you enter.
Completely ignoring... Sorry, go ahead.
I just said slim pickings. Miners.
Frizzle Fierce completely ignores the rest of the party and skips all the way up to the bar and sits next to the you said it was a Goliath
It's
bartender?
a Goliath. Yep.
Okay. She sits down and pulls out one of her pickle jars and hands him a pickle, and while she also grabs one for herself and just starts chatting. Attempts to hand him a pickle, I should say.
And you hear Lanthan go, no, running behind her as fast as he can.
She's so good at sharing, though.
She's so fast! She's so fast!
You do draw the attention of the townspeople as you run through, but they watch you go by, and other than noticing you, they don't seem to pay you much attention at all. Inkira, give me a perception check, please.
Okay. Perception. Hold on, I'm just finding it. Okay.
Sure.
4. Her wisdom is
Okay.
not my best attribute.
So you're looking around the room for things to pocket, as you always do, and...
Yes. Well, I was
You're
going to
sitting
walk
here-
up to this man right here who's sitting here and
Okay.
attempt to pick his pocket.
Okay, go ahead and give me a sleight of hand check for a random item in his pocket.
9.
Let's see. As your hand reaches for his pocket, he actually kind of spins around, reaches out his hand, and shakes yours, saying, "Welcome to our town. Nice to meet you."
Yes, darling. Yes, darling. Very nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
What brings you in?
We're just here for some rest and to take a look around your fair city.
Rest here is good. It's always pleasant here.
Well, we've had a bit of a dust up on our way here, so we're looking forward to taking a little nap.
Sounds good to me. Enjoy the stay, and perhaps you'll like it so much you won't want to leave. I know I did.
That made me a little nervous when I heard that.
Yep. And then he will go right back to eating as if you aren't there.
Okay, I'll go up and sit next to Amani and order a drink. Oh, is that Amani? No, that's
I just moved
Not
next
yet.
to you, so it's fine.
okay.
I was making my way through the crowds.
So the Goliath behind the bar will introduce himself as Gavin and say, "What can I get for you all?"
Bed, a hot meal, but most importantly, a bed.
That we can do. We have quite a few upstairs that are actually unoccupied now. All the people of this town tend to be residents, so we very rarely get visitors.
Interesting.
One question for you. For my Song of Rest ability, it specifies short rest.
Right.
Can it only be short rest?
Yes, but if you wanted to spend an hour in this part of the bar, you can all take a short rest as you eat dinner and converse if you would like.
Because I feel like Amani would just get herself nice and comfortable at the bar and get out her flute and just start playing a nice, soothing, restful song.
Okay. Give me a performance check
Okay.
to see how well this goes over and how well it sounds to your companions.
Ooh, sorry.
14.
Okay. So, not your best work, but it still sounds good. And
That's it. I'm
that
getting a
kind-
new D20.
2 dice jail.
Nice, Jill.
Goodbye. You're in timeout.
Your companions seem to pay a lot more attention to what you're playing than any of the rest of the patrons here. They don't seem to other than glancing over as you start playing, and occasionally they don't seem to pay much notice, and it doesn't much change the atmosphere of the room either.
That makes me a little cranky, because I like people paying attention to me.
Your companions enjoy it, and the bartender seems to appreciate it as well, but the rest of the room not so much.
Amateurs.
And after about 15 minutes, the Goliath will pull things off the counter out of the window behind him and set them on the bar in front of you. Simple foods, nothing extravagant, just a simple plate of some type of meat, some vegetables, and a gravy over top everything.
Oh, should I have the party members roll for hit points after my Song of Rest?
If you all want to actually make this a short rest, then yes, you all can do that.
Do you want to?
Wants to?
Well,
Sure,
we're going to be turning in for the night, right? We're not.
Either
going
way,
on
it won't
anywhere
harm
this?
anything mechanically. I'll tell you that above board. So
Okay.
if you wanted to go ahead and do that, then you can spend half your
So
hit,
it should be
hit die
1d6.
and gain points. You get an extra 1d6 for as you're rolling hit die.
Okay. Well, I was just wondering if you wanted to spend the spell slot, or are we just going to go to bed and get a long rest?
That's just a class feature.
Okay. So I'm going to roll a couple of hit dice and...
Oh, nice.
Chris is just going to keep chatting with Gavin, and she is going to kind of look at the food he put in front of her and smile, and then push it back to him and say,
Oh, thanks. But I didn't order this.
That is fine. You don't have to eat it if you don't want. I can send it to the next person.
And she says,
Yeah, I'd rather you do that. I just prefer my pickles.
Oh my gosh, the pickles.
And he will set it off to the side and send it out with one of the servers as they are walking around the room.
So, Gavin, that was your name, right?
Yes.
Tell me, you said you don't get many visitors here. Is it because you're off the beaten path? Is it because there's those little sand critters who are outside? I don't know, ground critters, whatever you want to call them. Somebody said coming in that a lot of people come and visit and just call it good here. Is that your experience as well?
I mean, I can see why. It feels really nice and safe here. I like it here. Maybe we should stay.
It is a fairly tranquil spot. I don't know which way you came in, but almost everybody who comes in comes up through the cranes that go down to the down the waterfall to the river and send our mining goods out and bring in the goods for our town. There is a mountain pass to get up here, but it's rather dangerous to travel. The cranes are much safer, and there is a back way in, but mostly that is we have some hunters that go out that way and then come back in bringing in mountain animals for food, but there's not much back that way other than wilderness, so we very rarely get people from there.
What exactly do you mine here?
Oh, various types of ores that are in the ground. Sometimes we get large stones that are used for crafting, and we do have somebody who will shape stones and send them downriver to build buildings with, make bricks out of stone and things like that, but not a whole lot of anything precious.
No.
Very occasionally we do hit some gold or silver veins down there, but mostly it's just iron or copper at the best.
I see. Pity.
Do you often have entertainment in your establishment here?
Not usually. It doesn't
Well,
seem to be the...
if you require any while we're here, please just let me know. I'll be happy.
If you
She's
wish to
very
play,
good.
we will be happy to hear you. And as you're sitting here, Inkira, you do notice that around his neck, he is wearing a piece of jewelry that has a very small glass orb in it that seems to glow every once in a while, independent
Then-
of the candles and lanterns that are around. Yes.
I don't think I caught the name of this town.
Oh, our town is called Joyton.
You know, that just sounds like the perfect name. I feel so joyous just sitting here talking with you.
I used to live a very different life, and when I got here, I found that what I considered troubles didn't seem to matter anymore, and now I actually enjoy life here.
I can see why.
All right.
I mean, it's nice enough.
The meal was fantastic. And I pushed forward an empty plate. But it has been a long day. I am tired. I am sore. I am going to bed. So I don't get cranky.
He's not very much fun when he's cranky.
Crankiness is
I believe
not
I
something
will.
that we see around here very often. If you do need help with that, you can head over to the cathedral and they can assist you with anything you may be feeling.
Oh, and who is the local deity here?
Oh, we don't serve any of the particular gods.
Okay.
The Lord
Go.
manages us on his own.
All right. We may have to go discuss that with him tomorrow then. Or at some point in the future. Thank you for the meal. It was fantastic. And with that...
You are very welcome.
What was the
Lantha
man's
goes to
name
bed.
that you said we had to go talk to?
Lord Tagani.
Lord Tagani. Okay.
I head up the stairs to find a room.
And there are half a dozen rooms upstairs that are all open. The doors are open. They have a latch on the inside, but they're not key locks.
Joyton is the name of the town?
Yes.
And Kira's going to go up and get a room as well.
Okay. There are more than enough rooms for each of you to take your own if you choose.
Yep.
Friz is only going to go up there if one of the other three tell her to, because she doesn't feel like she needs to rest at all.
I call down the stairs. Friz, are you going to teach me that song?
Oh, right. Sorry, Gavin. I'll talk to you later.
And
Have a
Friz
good night.
puts the lid back on her pickle jar and scurries upstairs after Money.
And you do all go upstairs and settle in for the night. You do find yourself being tired once you get up there, Friz. It seems like the natural thing to do. There's a bed there. You might as well lay down.
Yeah, since it's there. Hermione, we might be learning that goblin song tomorrow.
That's just fine, honey. You
And
relax.
you all get a long rest. So you can go ahead
Wow.
and push the button on that.
While everyone else is asleep, Inkira is going to kind of try to go down and get that medallion off of Gavin while he's sleeping.
Cheeky.
Okay.
The one thing of worth she's seen in the whole town so far.
Okay. Give me first a stealth check.
Okay. This is one of my very best. 17.
Okay. Then give me an investigation check.
19. I take that back. 19.
Okay.
Investigation?
Yep, to see if you could find where he is sleeping.
20. Not natural 20, just dirty 20.
Okay.
Dirty 20.
So you do manage to find where he is sleeping. He's got a room that is actually downstairs. There's a little thing off the back of the kitchen that goes down a half level, and as you approach, you take a look around the door. The door is not locked, it's actually even barely shut, and you manage to sneak into his room. Give me a perception check. There's not any light in here, so that would be at disadvantage with your dark vision.
First one's a 15. Well, second one's a 5.
Okay. So as you look around the room, the only thing that catches your attention is that medallion hanging around his neck. That still seems to be emitting just a faint bit of light of its own.
She's going to very quietly make her way over to where the medallion is.
Okay.
And try to lift it off Gavin's neck, or no, better yet, she's going to take her dagger out and cut the what it's hanging on.
The cord that it's on? Okay.
The cord that it's on, yeah.
Okay. Give me a sleight of hand check.
19.
Okay. You manage to get the blade under the cord at some place where it's not actually touching his skin there. You cut the cord cleanly, and you pick up the medallion.
I put it in my little pouch.
I need a charisma saving from you.
Oh no. I don't have any charisma. Okay, charisma. Oh no, I have charisma. Okay, a little bit. 4.
You gain the memory of standing in the middle of a battle, screaming and raging, swinging an axe, killing everything in front of you. And that is now a memory you have.
Oh dear. I didn't count on that. What was that? She backs out of the room very quietly and skitters back up the stairs and into her room. And lays down and goes to sleep.
And as you sleep, you dream of battle after battle after battle. And loss of friends, loss of companions.
She tosses and turns all night and wakes up a couple of times panting and sweating, but eventually falls to sleep.
So everyone gets a long rest, and in the morning when you wake up, I need another wisdom saving throw from everyone. Frizz and Inkira make it with disadvantage.
That would
11.
be
15?
a 9.
9.
Okay. So, Frizz, you feel just as good this morning as you did last night. This town seems to be a very nice place, and you don't seem to have many worries at all. Amani, you wake up and you had a really good night's sleep. You feel rested in a way that you haven't felt in a long time.
I feel really refreshed. How about you?
You know, I actually feel wonderful.
You know, your skin's glowing more than normal. I didn't even think that was possible.
Well, thanks.
I really like this place, you know? I think... What do you think about me setting up a pickle business? Just settling down here.
Well, maybe.
I mean, I think I do pretty well.
Maybe we should explore the town and see how well that product does here.
Even if nobody else buys any, I mean, it just is more for me, right?
That's true. I mean, if it makes you happy.
It does. It really does. Kind of like this town does.
In Kira, when you wake up, you remember all of these memories and dreams that were added. Your Whispers of the Dead changes from history to athletics.
Oh. Okay.
So instead of proficiency with history, your Whispers from the Dead proficiency has changed to athletics.
Okay.
But the trouble that you felt last night seems to have not as much concern for you this morning. You still have those memories, and this seems to be a lot stronger than the memories that you normally pick up. As you sleep and wake, you normally have some images that pass through you of lives of others or lives of your past, possibly. But this is a lot more real than that. But it seems that it's not really different, just more.
Okay.
Lanthan, you wake up and you are worried. Because
I was
once
worried
again,
when I went to bed.
Yes.
I'm more
And you
worried
are still
now.
worried this morning. Because once again, you feel something trying to push on you. And as you exit out into the hall and join your companions, you notice that they are rather unconcerned with anything that's been going on.
Hey, Lanthan.
So
Did you sleep good?
Yeah. Yeah, I did.
I really can't wait to go see some more of this really great town.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, let's go explore.
1 minute. I want to go talk to, I already forgot the bartender's name.
Gavin.
I literally have
Wrote
slept
it
since
down.
then. Thank you. I want to go talk to Gavin real quick. There may be a library in town, and I'd like to learn more about it.
Ooh, new stories.
Mm-hmm. So I head downstairs. Is Gavin present?
Yes, he is. He's cleaning and prepping everything, polishing this and that, making room on the table for things.
Mm-hmm. I stop by the front of the bar and say, "Hey, Gavin, do you have a library, a repository of books, maybe an alchemist, or a local wizarding shop I could stop by? I'd love to learn more about the place."
All the knowledge of this place would be kept in the cathedral. There is a library up there, and there, depending on what you're wanting to learn, there's a bit of books and scrolls and things of surrounding area and just general knowledge. And you could also visit the Hall of Memories. That may tell you more about this particular place, but you would need permission from the Lord to go into the Hall of Memories. But the cathedral will have what you want. I mean, we don't get many wizards up here, so we don't have much of a wizard shop, if You might find some at the healer's house, but they tend to deal more in natural remedies than anything arcane.
No, that's perfectly fine. All knowledge is interesting. Thank you. I plan on checking those places out.
And you do notice that he is constantly scratching at his chest and throat.
You alright there, man? Do you need to go to the healer's house?
I don't know, I just feel like... almost like I'm missing something.
We'll keep an eye on it. If something weird happens, go get yourself taken care of.
Certainly.
Perfect. So once we finish with that dialogue, what I would like to do is head out back into the streets.
Okay.
If there are any leftover plates, Frizz is like grabbing bones and stuff off of them as she walks by to put in her jar.
At this point, no, there aren't.
Okay.
Could still be meat on them.
We will move to the city map as well, and if you would like me to zoom into a particular quadrant, I will.
So we've got a lot of buildings. I'm assuming 31 and 32 are going to be the cathedral and the healer's hut, house, whatever.
The cathedral, yes, not the healer's hut. It seems to be a fairly fancy house.
Oh, okay. Perhaps the Lord's Manor.
Yeah, you would get that impression, yes.
Okay.
On this map, what is the inn that we just left?
41. That's
40.
going to be right here.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead and put my character over there.
You want me to grab you?
No.
I'm already there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And you all should be able to zoom in individually, I think.
Mm-hmm.
We can.
Yeah.
Okay. So I will leave the big map for our audience.
They're
there I
teeny
am.
tiny little tokens.
I know. It took me a while to figure out which one I was. Okay.
Somebody moved me.
here.
Did I?
Oh, did I move you instead of myself?
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
I was like, I'm pretty
I'll
sure
move
I
you
grabbed
back.
Lanthan.
There you go.
He's the
You're
purple
back
one.
where you started.
Okay.
Purple guy.
Well, we all
He's
just
sorry.
came out of. We all just
You
came
reach a
out
certain
of.
age, and
Inn.
this may be small for you guys, but at my age, this is tiny.
Hopefully you can zoom in on
Thank
your screen and
goodness
actually
for
make sense of
zooming.
it.
Yes.
Yeah, you can zoom in as far as you want. Honestly, that's just how Outdoor Rodeo works.
Is
there we go.
there a town map or anything displayed that we can see? Like our characters?
Not particularly, but if you want to find anything, if you ask anybody on the street, they are pleasantly happy to direct you in any direction. So the town itself is its own map.
Because there's just so much here.
Right. And you won't have any need whatsoever to engage with all of it, but the town exists.
So
I actually stayed in the inn. I haven't left, so.
Stepping out of the inn, Frizzle sees this fountain over here, and she's going to run up and grab a copper piece out of her pack and giddily toss it in.
Okay.
All of you guys, I'm sorry, let me back up. So, just so you know, this is very odd behavior for Frizzle. When she has coins, she hoards them.
Okay. Triz,
Good to know.
what are you doing over there?
I'm making a wish. Isn't that what you're supposed to do at fountains?
Well, yes, but I don't think I've ever seen you do this before.
I don't know, I just feel so good here.
Lanthan, wasn't Gavin trying to get us to go to, what was it, the cathedral?
Yes.
Do you think we should check that out? Maybe something, I just feel strange.
Mm-hmm.
Don't feel myself.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've ever felt more myself. This place is perfect.
Why don't you stay here, Frizz, and stay with, Amani?
But Amani's not out here.
Well, right. She did promise you to teach you that, that goblin song, didn't she?
No. I promised to teach her the goblin
Oh,
song.
yes, how silly of me. We were only tired and bleeding.
We were?
I was, at the very least. Why don't you stay
Why
here
don't I
and
remember
teach
that?
her that goblin song?
I guess if she's up for it.
And Kira and I will go take a look around town and find some of the really cool stuff, and then we'll come get you. How does that sound?
Okay. Unless Amani wants to go for a walk with me.
For the
That would
record,
be
I'm
perfectly
inside
fine, too.
prodding Gavin for like stories about the town and such.
Frizzle, as you're thinking about what Lanthan is saying, you do remember the fight, and you do remember being injured. They just don't really matter to you.
Or hurt that badly.
Not so much that you were worried, at least.
I would prefer to avoid getting that beat up again.
Out of character, Frizzle was down to half her hit points when we walked into this town. and that was after a potion of greater healing. So
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, you had a long fight all morning long, and then ended up fighting a bunch of Kruthic in a cavern, or in a canyon. So
whatever
Amani,
those are.
You are talking to Gavin?
Yeah, I'm just poking and prodding him for any lore about the town or interesting stories that I can add to my catalog of stories that I tell when I travel.
Most of his stories are entirely uninteresting. Like he will gladly share stories of the town, of things that he does throughout the day, of how the mine functions, how people go in the morning, they come out at night. A lot of them come to his tavern for food. They send mining goods
that's
down the
disappointing.
canyon. But it seems like he doesn't put any particular weight on anything. He is a terrible storyteller. Like, there is zero emotional investment in the story at all.
I feel like this place just... It needs some imagination. So I climb up on a table. I don't even care how many people are in there or not. I climb up on a table and I just start telling stories and singing song stories using my prestidigitation and minor illusion willy-nilly for special effects. Just go crazy.
And you're performing to a crowd of 3. So as
I
we
just
follow,
keep going.
Yep. Lanthan and Inkira, as they head a bit to the west across a bridge or two. As you approach the cathedral, you are passing by. It is a manor house, but it is small. It looks to be
Is
just a
this
couple rooms, but it is...
Number 31?
32 is the manor, 31 is the cathedral, yes.
Okay.
So, the manor house itself, it looks to be very opulently decorated, but it is not large. It looks like 1, maybe 2 people would live there comfortably.
Okay.
Lanthan, give me a history check.
Ooh. 26. The dice are like me today.
You see iconography on the both on the manor house and on the cathedral, that is very, very old. Like, from centuries ago.
Mm-hmm.
You recognize it as symbol of... Give me a religion check to see if you actually recognize who it is, or just generally.
Let's do... Where is it? Down at the bottom. How about a 14?
So you don't recognize the name of this particular deity, but you do recognize it as an older deity that's really not existing anymore. It's from back before quite a few major events that have occurred in the history of the world, that how the gods have changed and changed. You recognize it from maybe even as many as 500 to 1,000 years ago. But it is religious iconography of eras past.
Interesting. All right. You said that was on the cathedral?
It was both on the cathedral and on the manor house.
Let's head to the cathedral. So, in Kira, there are 3 places that I want to visit today if we can.
Okay.
I want to know where the resources from the mines are going.
Yes.
I want to visit the cathedral and see what is here. And I want,
all right,
probably last, to visit who is in the manor house, just to get to know everybody.
yes, I'm very curious on what they mine in particular. I mean, stone. I mean, it keeps a town like this going on stone.
Well, they said they
doesn't
also
make any
had
sense.
some precious minerals in there. Or did I
Yes.
mishear what they said?
No,
They
you are
said
correct.
no gold or silver.
Okay.
I'm with you, Lenthan. You lead the way.
All right, so let's head into the cathedral.
Okay. And I do have a cathedral here.
Oh my.
Wow.
That
And we
is
will
that is fancy.
Yeah.
pull
Fancy
in
schmancy.
Kira and Lanthan.
Okay.
It
So
must get
you are
really great
on the
tides.
steps leading up.
All right. I stopped short of.
And your 26 Arcana check, we will roll that over from earlier.
Okay.
This cathedral was not constructed. It was summoned. It is a magical creation. It is a temple of the gods.
The 7th level cleric spell?
Yes.
Okay.
The one that if you cast it every day for a year, it becomes permanent.
It becomes permanent. Interesting. So, I'm going to stand right here at the entrance. Can we just call that the vestibule? Is that fine?
Yes, what you're seeing here is the 2nd floor. So those stairs are going up into it, but the ground floor is very similarly apportioned. So you'll walk in, and here you'll actually walk through a kind of hallway.
Okay.
And then enter the cathedral,
The main
proper,
area.
as it were.
Okay.
And, well, I guess more or less the shaded areas, the part that are under the fog, are a 2nd story, as well as these stairs are. But everything else is open, tall cathedral.
Okay.
So
I
that
take...
center portion there is 2 stories.
Okay. So this right here is still on the 1st floor.
More, that's the stairs. You're actually under what we're seeing there, but yes.
Under it. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. So as I step through, do I feel that weird suppression effect again?
It is definitely here, and it is definitely stronger here.
Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and step here, and I assume the feeling continues to increase in strength as I step forward.
Yes.
All right. Then I will stand, say, there,
Okay.
and let's go ahead and percept with my glorious perception score of 3, and see what I can see. What are people doing? Is there anything out of place, etc., etc.?
Looking around, you will notice that right now, the only people in this place appear to be 4 individuals that are slightly armored, wearing probably just light armor, but they seem to be just standing, as if they are almost statues. And let me see this as well. This will work. Each of them also has a with a 3 perception. It is a dog.
It is a dog.
They each have a dog next to them. Yep.
I like doggies.
Me too.
Interesting. Okay.
And in front of you, you do see this giant glowing orb, crystal glass or something, that seems to be floating, about 15 feet off the ground. And around it, there are smaller orbs that are kind of floating and circling there as well. In Kira, as you enter the temple, I need a charisma saving throw from you.
Okay. I'm just looking for it. That's all. Eight.
As you enter the temple, you feel yourself cut off from your infernal side. You could no longer cast Hellish Rebuke if you tried.
And Kira drops to one knee and bows her head and shakes her head because she feels something is missing. And she slowly rises and looks around suspiciously.
Okay, so let's do an Arcana check on that orb.
Okay.
9 plus 7 is 16.
It is not anything you've ever seen before. Let's see here. What is your spell list? And you are an evocation.
Mainly Explodey Boom.
Okay.
That is my spell list.
Yeah, and at a 16, you can tell this is definitely not any type of evocation magic. It is most likely enchantment.
Interesting. And you said that there is no one else in here except for these 4 statue-like guard dudes?
Correct.
Okay.
And they don't seem to pay you any mind at all.
Alright, so I'm gonna just step over here slowly, non-threateningly. Caution level is really high right now.
Natural.
Natural. And I'm gonna ask the guy, you see many people here throughout the day?
And once you address him, the completely blank and tranquil look on his face changes, and he will look at you and say, there's not much need for people to come in here except at certain times, and most of the time, only when new people come to town do we see people in here.
Interesting.
And then he will go back to looking straight ahead with a blank expression.
Okay, let's do some investigation on him. Are there 23 investigation. Does he appear to be and maybe this would be an arcana, the roll would be about the same. Does he appear to be under some sort of enchantment? Does he have the telltale signs of I don't know, maybe an illusion? Well, no, I'd have to poke an illusion. But something along that, where he's there, but something's just not right.
You may have seen something like this in your past. Yes, he does appear to be there and not right. An arcana check would be the same, as well as a history check would be the same for you, right?
Yes.
Okay. He has the look and appearance of the only place you may have seen this in your travels is some type of thrall. Either to a mind flayer or a vampire or something of that nature. To where he has no personality until fulfilling the function.
Well, I tell him that he has been very helpful and appreciate his time. And then ask one last question. I say, I heard that there were books in here. I would just like to learn more about your town. Where may I go read?
Kira heaves a big sigh and wonders how long she's going to have to sit and wait for him to be done.
I appreciate that.
He will point off in this direction, and you'll notice that right along here, there are doors on the bottom floor, and on the top floor there are some openings, like windows looking into the gallery here. And he'll point to the door there, which is open, and you see various books and things. You see a small library under this area here.
Okay. Then I'm going to go back to Kira. I'm going to let her know, hey, here's what I found out. Here are the things that I'm concerned about.
Lanthan, I don't feel right. Something in me is missing. I can't put my finger on it.
When
Do you
did it
know
happen?
what's going on here? As soon as I walked in.
I have some ideas, but I'm not for sure. So what I would like to do very quickly is just run an investigation check to go through the library real quick.
Okay.
See if there's any history or give me something good. That is not an amazing roll. Some sort of history, knowledge, context to what's going on. That will be a 15 for the investigation.
As you're going through the library, you quickly begin to notice that this doesn't seem like an actual library collection of knowledge. There are records of the town economy. There are records, and those go back for hundreds of years. 15. Yeah, it does look like those records are all written by the same hand, no matter how far back you go.
Interesting.
And other than that, there seems to be a place where once might have stood a religious text of significance, but there's a conspicuously missing place.
Okay.
Other than that, this library is unusually empty of anything that could be useful. It looks like it's mostly for show.
Okay. Then I'm going to take that information and I'm going to grab Inkira and we're going to leave.
Inkira, give me a perception check if you would, please.
Perception.
Hmm.
21.
So
Nice.
as you're looking around here, as you are always of habit to do, you notice that these lights that are around are actually little small glowing orbs. They aren't any flames of any kind, and everything around here seems to be lit by little beads of glass.
Does she think that it looks like the medallion that she took off Gavin? The same kind of orb or light?
Yes.
Can she walk up to one and can she touch it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
And when
so
you do,
I'm going to walk over. Well, this one right next to me, I'm assuming this little dot here is one of those.
sure.
Okay, so she's going to reach up and touch it.
When you do, give me a charisma saving throw.
Well, not charisma again. Five.
So once again, you gain a memory. This one is of a time with the people that you see there. You're seeing all of this in the first person, like you did the last one. You see fashion. You're in a city of some kind, but you see fashion that's unlike anything you've ever seen. It is maybe something you might have seen in a theater performance of some kind, but it is clothing of a fashion that goes back many, many years before you're even aware. And what you see around you, you see you're sitting on a raised porch, maybe sitting on a balcony, drinking a cup of tea, and you see in a house garden in front of you, you see a bunch of little kids playing. And you are very content and happy as you see these little children playing in your yard as you sit there.
And this is an odd feeling for Inkira because this is not how she grew up at all.
But now you have this memory as well.
Okay. Are we leaving? Because she really wants to get out of here.
Yeah, we're getting out. We're getting out now.
So as they're leaving, has anything interesting been happening with Amani and Frizzle?
Friz has been teaching Amani all of the goblin songs she knows, which is three songs. And and all of them were taught to her by her good friend Scribbleface, who also taught her how to make goblin pickles.
Face, I love it.
So, this took maybe an hour and a half for them to visit the cathedral and for Lanthan to read enough to get the information he did acquire. So for about 90 minutes or so, you all have been entertaining Gavin and his servers, and they are paying attention to you as you are playing music or performing or whatever it is, but it doesn't seem to improve or dampen their mood. Their mood seems to be pretty much the same the whole time. As you sit there and talk.
Well, of course I think I understand why no entertainment comes here.
It's okay, Amani. I think you sing pretty.
It's not live online shows until we have some technical difficulties. So sorry for that, but now we shall get back into where we were. Amani, you were playing music for these people, and it seemed like you were slightly upset at their lack of interest. What is it that Amani is feeling right now?
Feeling unappreciative, but at the same time, I don't care that much. I keep going.
So you feel slightly off-put by this, and then it just fades to the background. Okay. So it's at this point that Lanthan and Inkira,
which is weird for me, by the way, for the rest of the party.
You're used to feeding off an audience and enjoying it almost as much as they do.
Yes.
As Inkira leaves the temple, whatever it was that was lost to her comes back. That sense of emptiness that you felt inside of you is filled again.
Oh, that is much better. Then I'm not going back into that building at all, ever again.
Good to know.
And then you two make your way back to the inn, and you see the other two being fairly entertaining, but for an audience of 3.
Out of curiosity, am I included in the 3?
No, you're kind of teaching the songs as well, so you're half performing, half... let me do a little bit of cleanup here on the map, because we are not at the evening. We are in mid-morning, and most of the townsfolk are doing their work.
I'm assuming the leaves are substitute for, like, the servers.
Yes. They are flighty and floating all over this place.
Are they actually floating?
No, they are not.
Oh.
One of them is an elf, and the other one is a dwarf, but they are...
The dwarves definitely can't float. No.
So they are moving around this place, mostly cleaning and prepping, getting things in place. And based on what you said you were doing, I imagine Amani is kind of up on the table.
Oh yeah, I got on the table.
Making some sort of performance.
Full on Coyote Ugly.
What Lanthan and
Sorry
Inkira
kids, that's a reference
noticed,
you won't get.
What Lanthan and Inkira would have noticed around town is it is fairly moving with people going about daily business. From the island where the cathedral is, you could see carts coming from a little bit farther to the west and taking it to, and even some of them floating out onto the lake to take it to some cranes that are right there next to the waterfall down. You do also might have been able to see going off to the west a bit more, where on that map we had that path off there, that they were there and hear the sound of the cranes going up and down basically all morning so far.
Okay. All right.
Amani, dear, what are you doing up there?
I'm entertaining the people, of course.
With goblin songs.
They could care less.
I like it.
And that's enough for me.
Inkira looks around and sees very few people in this inn and just kind of shakes her head. and laughs a little bit.
What if we took the joy of song to the people working?
That's a fabulous idea.
Scribbleface did write some really good songs.
You know, I did really enjoy the songs that you taught me.
And after all, what is better for working than listening to something fantastic while working?
This is a very good point.
Goblin pickles, duh.
Goblin pickles obviously included.
Yes. Sure.
Why don't we head along the north side of town? That way we can grab as many people as possible and entertain them while we are on our way to entertain the rest of the workers. We'll be like a traveling band.
Before we go, I have something very important I need to do.
Mm.
And I call my familiar, because I never explore anywhere without her.
And I need to give you a little thing that is your familiar.
Yes.
Let's see which one of these fits best. Actually, what's going to fit best is just another one of you shrunk down.
Oh, I guess.
Because of the size and the coloring.
Oh, fair enough. Can you attach 2 tokens?
Unfortunately,
You can make her token a mount and put the little token on top of it, and then when she moves her token, it'll move both of them.
And is that able to be undone if I want to have her explore a little bit?
Yes,
okay.
You can do it yourself too if you want.
Oh, I can?
You just
How?
you click on the token, and of course it's not on there. Hold on. It's on mine. That's weird. Maybe it's because I'm the GM. Well, maybe you can't do it yourself too. As the GM, you should be able to. There's like a little person in the bottom. You can click it to where it's like a horse.
There we go. I had to cycle through.
There you go. Okay.
I mean, I figure I can probably also just use the select tool and grab them both.
Yeah, but if you make yourself a mount and then put a smaller token on top of it, it'll move both of them at the same time.
She rides on my shoulder, but she doesn't need to because she has wings.
Yep. So there we go, but mostly you've got this little thing flitting about like that.
Yes. Saying, hey, listen!
Oh no.
I'm just kidding. Don't freak out.
Okay. So we make our way out into the streets. And
Here we go to the teeny tiny tokens again.
We'll go back to the city map, and you'll notice how there's not really a place to travel across the north part of town. But if you wanted to
go
get
past the cathedral,
past the cathedral or across the water here, right at the waterfall. But if you wanted to go where most of the foot traffic is going, it is running here.
On this map, where is the mine
there.
or that sort of working
The
area?
mine, this goes
Is down there.
This goes into and then here as well, it seems to be that there is a drop into a different portion of a mine with another crane here.
So we've got a section in the northwest and then again in the southwest. Is that correct?
So the northwest is where there's a crane that takes it down the edge of the cliff itself, all the way down to the bottom to where it's heading out.
Okay.
Southwest, it seems that this is where the primary mine entrance is, and then here looks like it's another, like that's just an opening in the earth, and there's a mine shaft down there as well.
Okay.
So
before we
here
cross,
we've got
bridges,
a staging area for mine goods too, as they bring them out of the mine.
Before we cross any bridges, I would really like to go check out number 36.
Where's that?
It is the little bit of river that's kind of off to the side in the
This right here.
northwest corner there. Or northeast corner, excuse me.
Looks like a little fishing pond almost.
Are you going to put fish in your jar?
Oh, no.
If Frizzle can find fish, I'm sure they go in the jar. Okay. So.
Oh, I grabbed me. Hey, look at that. Fantastic. Meant to grab the map.
If you head up there, you will notice that there is around that portion of a pool, there are almost as if they're crafted steps that lead down into it. And you'll notice that the building next to it, 38, it has open doors on the front, but you get the idea that this is a bathhouse, and this is where bathing can occur for the
So
so this is
36 is where you go clean, 38 is where you get ready to go clean.
Yes.
Okay.
Like an onsen, but like right out in the open.
100%.
Okay.
And you'll notice that there are people there that seem completely unconcerned that anyone might notice them.
Alrighty.
Are
Frizz
they
is-
naked?
That's what it sounds
Yep.
like. Oh, we found a
Interesting.
nudist colony. No. Oh my.
No, they're just doing a task and being exactly what they need to get that task done.
Frizz
what-
is
what
not
other-
shocked at all. Sorry. Frizz is
No,
not
no,
shocked
go
at all, but she is very disappointed that it's not a fishing pond.
I'm
It
curious.
is not a fishing pond.
Maybe I wouldn't notice. Never mind. I'm not going to ask. I don't think I would notice.
You might.
Well,
It's not like you lose your perception or anything. You just don't have negative emotional attachments to anything.
You're just
Okay.
not shocked by it.
I was wondering what their moods are. Like, do they look as flat-faced as the people in the tavern?
They look...
Or do they
Yes
look like
and
happy
no.
townspeople, you know?
They have a pleasant look on their face, but at the same time, their facial expressions don't tend to fluctuate much.
Okay.
So unless they get distracted by something else, their facial expression stays intent on completing the task of making sure they're clean.
Okay, and I presume that the way I woke up this morning, I note that but don't really care.
Right. That it
Okay.
is something you take notice of. There's maybe a nagging little thing in the back of your head saying, maybe this is weird, but at the same time, you don't attach any negative judgment on it.
Okay.
Almost as if your negative feelings are out of touch, you're out of reach. If you wanted to get angry, you couldn't. If you wanted to get upset or sad, you couldn't.
Yeah.
Any strong emotion, particularly the ones that are considered negative, are out of reach.
So I know we've passed some, but what are these?
Sorry, I'm not quite seeing. Oh, those are stone gardens.
Okay.
So
On the map,
any
I'm
particular-
seeing them everywhere, and I wanted to know if there was something significant about them. Like, are they noticeable? Do they
They
really
are.
like, stand out?
It's like
They-
landscaping.
Yes, but it's made with their particular quartz or various minerals that you'd recognize as pretty but not precious.
Okay.
And there are maybe a few growing plants in there, but they're mostly stone and sand.
Just realized my flitterbell is gone. She's not on me.
Oh, yes, it was only on that map.
Oh, okay.
17 investigation.
Okay.
Do these stones seem to be made of the same material that the crystal inside of the temple is made of?
I was wondering the same thing. Like, don't touch them.
They're pretty, but not precious.
Possibly. But almost... They seem to be related, but it's almost the difference between something that is valuable and functional versus something that is
ornamental,
damaged or basically it'd be like the crystal in the temple is a very clear, perfect diamond, and these have a lot of occlusions, a lot of they won't shape. They have a lot of points in it where there are multiple different colors and things. They are impure, where the crystal in the cathedral is very pure.
Okay. So let's go ahead and let these people clean themselves in peace. I'm a head up to about here. And we'll say that's where I had kind of that epiphany.
I assume we're all
there are
going
stones
together.
around there as well. Yep.
So I moved my character with him.
What about Inkara? She said she didn't want to go there again.
Well,
Sorry,
if we don't
Kira.
go in the building, I'm okay. But I'm not going in that building.
Okay, so I want to look for one of the smaller ones, maybe about this big.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna pick it up.
Okay.
Okay, I now have a fancy polished crystal thing in my hand.
You now have a fancy little crystal thing in your hand, and you think you could probably spend some time and make it into a rudimentary arcane focus if you wanted to.
Okay.
But picking it up, it is not quality enough to do that, but with a little bit of applied arcane energy and something, you could probably turn it into an arcane focus.
So if I just kind of channel a little bit of arcane energy into it, not enough to like store a spell or anything, but just to like make a little bit of light pulse in it, does it do anything?
Yeah, you could get it to pulse a little.
Okay. I just stick it in my bag.
And as soon as you stop putting energy into it, the light fades out. Like it won't hold anything, it just drains.
Perfect. All right. Then I propose we head, say, right here. So continue down around this way, go between buildings 9, 12, and 8, and stop at that other kind of fountain area. Does that work for everybody else?
Yes, as long as we get away from the cathedral,
Kira
is fine.
We are getting away from the Cathedral of Doom.
And
Cathedral
you mentioned earlier that this was the main thoroughfare.
This is where the traffic is running, yes, for doing their work. So they're bringing down here, they're staging pallets and carts and things as they're emptying them out of the mine, putting them onto slightly larger carts, and then pulling them through here and either up to this crane or down here. And there's also another building that they walk it into, depending on what type of cart it is.
Okay, so a 15 perception. So let's say a number of carts go by. We sit and watch for a number of carts. Do particular contents of particular carts go to particular places?
Yes.
So if we have rocks and those crystal things, and so rocks like granite and stuff like that, crystal things and precious metals, I assume that there are carts of rocks, crystal things, and precious metals, and they're going to separate destinations.
Yes, you don't see any carts of crystals right now. It's just seems to be mostly what you're seeing today are iron, and then you do see some of stone that are, the stones are basically, they're rough. Like they haven't been cut at all, just cut enough to fit into the cart. The stones travel to the path up here, where the crane that is here seems to be a little bit heavier duty. Okay. So it can take more of the stones at once, and then the iron tends to go here, but some of it you do find going to this place. And then you do see a couple other smaller carts, which are covered, end up here at 3.
So where do we want to go first? Do we want to look at the excavation, or do we want to go to the 3 destinations?
So Frizz is extremely curious, and she wants to know why those carts are covered. So she wants to follow the 3 smaller ones.
Okay.
I want to go where the largest volume of people is.
Okay. I believe that's where we are, isn't it?
No, well, we're between the buildings. I figured it was going to be down here.
Okay.
So I set myself sort of, not in the way, but like off to the side of where the most gathering of people is, and continue my entertaining music not stories, probably music with all my different flutes.
Is she attracting a lot of attention?
Give me an insight check. I was just going to prompt that very thing. I'm glad you asked.
Sorry.
No,
do you want me to do it, or do you want...
Yeah, absolutely. You asked the question, so you are interested.
Okay. Insight. I don't know how good that is. Okay. Oh.
I guess I should probably do a performance
17. 17.
Yes. Go ahead and give a performance as well.
Yes, me? Okay.
That's either a very good number or a very bad number.
I rolled a 15.
Okay. So, for some reason, you actually get into the feeling of what's going on here right now. And your performance seems to fit with exactly where you are. And you actually feel pretty good about it. This feels comfortable. This feels right. Like you have a place here. And in Kira, as you're looking around and watching the people, you do notice that some are completely oblivious to the music. And some notice when it starts and then go back to work. And then some notice every once in a while, occasionally they'll continue to look over. There seems to be a different level of interest or focus on various people. Some seem to have more attention for everything around them, and some seem to have attention only for the task that they are doing.
Okay.
And Frizz is not paying attention at all to what Amani's doing. She's instead looking back toward where those 3 other carts went, and is kind of like sad because she followed Amani instead. She didn't want to lose her.
The 3 carts didn't go at the same time. They've come periodically throughout the day, so you might expect another one to come along at some point.
Okay.
Do we want to wait for the next shiny rock cart to come through and follow the shiny rock cart?
So my thought is they wouldn't cover it without a reason. So they're not covering the shiny rocks.
Do we want to wait until the next covered cart comes through and follow the covered cart?
I do.
Okay. I'm okay with
Yeah,
that.
sure.
Okay, let's do that.
Something.
While we wait, I'm going to go over by Amani and attempt to pick the pocket of anybody that stops to listen to her.
Okay. Give me a sleight of hand check.
Just checking to see what radius my flitterbell would have around me. It's pretty good, too.
Oh, 8.
This time you reach into somebody's pockets, and when you get there you realize that they looked up at you right before you reached for it. And so as your hand brushed across their pocket, you didn't actually reach into it.
Oh, hello, darling. I just wanted to say hi. And she pats him on the shoulder. There you go. Carry on.
And he looks a little bit confused as he's paying attention to the music. And then after you break his attention from the music, he goes back to doing the work that he was doing.
And I don't even look annoyed that she's stealing my audience.
But you do notice that you have a few dozen people here that are at least semi-interested in what you're playing, or at least some of them are. The rest of them appear to be going about their work, and you do notice that whether it's your music or their work, they do tend to somehow kind of line up in their rhythm.
Mm-hmm.
So the rhythm of the work and the rhythm of your music tend to become more in sync as you continue to play.
Okay.
Give me a Constitution saving throw.
Who? All of us?
You.
Me?
Nope. You.
Me? Oh no. Wait, hold on. Seven.
What instrument are you playing?
Oh. I have so many.
That's a bard for you. Which one do you choose?
They're all wind instruments too.
Okay. If they're all wind instruments, then that gives me what I need.
Okay. They are all some form of flute.
Okay. So, at some point, as you're all standing here waiting for that next unique cart to come out, Amani loses her breath. Like, you've been playing so long, and you've kind of forgotten to breathe properly, and you get winded.
Oh.
And have to stop.
That's not something that happens often.
Are you okay, Amani?
Well, I guess I just lost track of my breath.
That's not something you've ever done before.
I know. Especially since I can hold my breath for like ever.
20 Arcana. Do I have any idea what could have caused that?
It doesn't seem to be anything particularly related to Arcana. Yeah, give me an insight instead.
It's gonna be a lot worse. 10.
Hold on, don't you
Okay.
have to be next to us before you can do that?
What?
I said, don't you have to be near us?
He's the only one who's not here.
You didn't move your token.
Oh no! Whoop. Totally was there the entire time. Totally.
So,
I forgot that we weren't up here. Sorry, go on.
You don't really know exactly what happened, but it's almost as if she just forgot to take pauses and breaks. She was playing nonstop for a very long time.
Oh, I hyper-focused on playing. Gee.
And for you never felt that biofeedback to say, I need to take a break, I need to pause, something doesn't feel quite perfect, so let me take a moment and get my breath back.
I have no idea what that's like.
You just completely ignored all those low-grade uneasiness feelings and played right through until it got to the point where it was a very large...
Uncomfortable.
Yeah, and you couldn't ignore it anymore.
Oh, well, How long has it been? I guess I should maybe sit down for a second.
You did a really good job.
Thanks, honey.
Yes, the music was beautiful.
It would have been better if you had chosen one of the goblin songs I just taught you, but I'll let that slide.
Maybe later.
And Lanthan, you did notice that the other three of your companions were swaying or moving in time to the rhythm of the work and the rhythm of the music, while you were there, a pebble in that stream.
Okay.
And Kira plops herself down onto the pavement and begins rifling through her pouch, just looking at all her treasures because she's disappointed that she can't pickpocket anybody.
I'm sorry the dice aren't in your favor there.
There has another one of those carts come by yet?
Once we get to about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, so it's been a few hours of waiting. I mean, you were at the other place for moving around the area, not just standing there watching, for about an hour or so, in order to be able to see the passage of a couple of these different types of carts. And then Amani was playing for about 2 hours, just nonstop.
My goodness. No wonder I ran out of breath.
And then, anybody but an Air Genasi couldn't have even managed that. But it's at this point that you see another smaller cart, and now that you're here, you notice that this particular cart comes out in the form it's already covered. The other things are coming out on smaller carts that fit out of the mine shaft and then being loaded onto larger ones. This one comes out as the smaller cart that's covered and moves up north.
Let's follow it.
I really want to know what's under that tarp, guys.
Let's go investigate then.
And
we've been
without
here
waiting
forever.
Without waiting for anybody to say anything, Frizz just starts following after it, just assuming that they'll follow her as well.
Wait.
I walk slowly behind them, and my flitterbell keeps up with them, so she can tell me what happens that I might miss.
We're heading up this way, correct?
Yep, you're heading up this path here. And
this is my flitterbell, I decided.
You notice the cart just continues moving. Nobody pays you any mind at all. I mean, if Inkira were feeling it at the moment, she might be a little annoyed that she doesn't have to work at all to maintain stealth in the traffic, that nobody's paying her any mind at all.
Sorry.
So she doesn't even have to try to be stealthy along the way.
I'm moving without being moved.
Sorry, I grabbed you instead of me. I apologize.
That's okay. I was just going for my little token and thought, whoa.
So you will, as you approach here, you'll notice the cart goes into this small building here. And out front are two more of those blank guards with two more of the animals out in front.
Out in front of building 3?
Out in front of building 3.
I think it's
So-
fine.
In.
Frizz is just gonna try to walk in the door. Because she doesn't care.
Okay. One of the guards goes from not moving to grabbing you by the arm.
Oh, hey! What's the big idea?
No entry.
Why not?
That is the command. No entry.
Well, that doesn't make sense. I can go in anywhere else in this town. How come I can't go in there?
You don't need to go in there.
But I want to go in there. I want to know what's under that tarp.
I run up and I put my hand on her shoulder. I said, Frisk, come on. He said no entry. Let's not make a big deal out of this.
I'm not making a big deal. I'm just really curious.
Maybe we'll be able to arrange something a little bit later. Let's thank the nice guard for telling us where we can't go, and we'll just find something else to do.
What time
So-
of day is it?
We're a little bit after noon.
Afternoon. Okay. And is it sunny or cloudy or?
It's slightly overcast, but there is full daylight out here. You won't find many. It's full light, so you won't find dim light anywhere around here. You'll find some shadows in the buildings, but or in the coming from the buildings because you're getting slightly western sun at this point. But
Okay. I was going to try to sneak in.
I was going
As
to
you're
say,
looking at
as
this
Lanthan
building-
was... I was going to say, as Lanthan was leading Frizz away, Frizz was looking for other ways in.
as you're looking at the building, you'll notice that there is one door, and the building itself seems to be built on a small outcropping from the cliff. So there are no side doors. You would have to climb the cliff in order to find any other piece of this particular building.
Or we could jump from the roof of number 4 onto the roof of number 3.
It is close enough to make that jump, but that is also in full view of whatever is here.
I thought they were on
Well,
either
if
side
you
of the
would-
door. Because if we jump
If we
from
go back
here, they
over
might not have...
here.
How
Potentially.
noticeable is my familiar to the guards? Like, how easy is
If
she to see?
it's she's a glowing orb, so she's not particularly stealthy except in the fact that she is small.
Okay.
He's a glowing orb, huh?
Yeah, pretty much.
Hey, Frizz.
It's a different light than is around here, but yes, a glowing orb.
What's that?
Frizz, come here. Come here.
Oh. Do you want one of my pickles?
No, come here. Come to me.
What's up, money?
How badly do you want to see what's under the tarp?
How long have you known me?
I'm gonna.
Would
Can we
be
step
okay?
around the corner
Oh,
here? Sorry to interrupt. Can
sure.
we step around the corner here?
Yeah, I told her to come close so I could whisper to her, but I'm not going to whisper for this because
Okay. Right.
that doesn't sound good. Would you be satisfied with Flitterbell checking it out for you? I know it's not the same as seeing it with your own eyes.
I mean, I guess. I don't
She
feel
can
any
try.
negative emotions either way.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So, Can I send Flitterbell around the building and see if she notices anywhere that she sneak into?
If she takes the long way around because she can fly,
right.
She can get in through the back. There is a window
here.
Back there. Yes. So the very north part where she's flying out over a fairly significant cliff drop.
Okay. So she's in, I assume. And she has telepathy, so she can just tell me what she sees without having to come back.
Okay. And she goes in through the window and she explains that there doesn't seem to be anybody inside.
Okay.
But there are.
I'm just moving the mouse so you can see her.
Yep. There's one cart sitting in there that is covered.
Okay. Can she fly under the cart, or is it like really tightly capped?
She can get under there. And as she gets under there,
she sees 0 perception, but she has 12 passive perception and +5 Arcana. Assuming we're going by the stats on my card.
Absolutely nothing.
Nothing in the cart? Like nothing?
And I need everyone to roll initiative.
Nothing. Initiative. Okay.
Oh boy. Okay.
We're not even over there.
Okay. 9?
21.
Yep. We will use this map.
21.
18.
Give me just a second. I forgot I had to click things as well.
Understandable.
So...
We never forget that.
I don't have this map turned properly to match the other map there, but let us assume...
We'll just turn our heads this way.
That you all were down here around this corner.
Oops, sorry.
And she had flown into this building.
Okay.
Okay.
For purposes of this particular need. And we will click that button. Okay, Amani, what was your initiative?
9. I had to think about that for half a second.
Say again?
In Kira, what was your initiative?
21.
Wow.
Lanthan.
21. I have a +2, so I probably go second.
I just suck.
No, I'm not playing my cleric, so which is where I normally roll like 1s and 2s and 3s.
Frizzle Fierce, what have we got for your initiative?
18.
Do I need to roll one for Flitterbell?
In order to make it easier on me, she will just go on your initiative.
Okay.
Yes, familiars are supposed to get their own, but yeah.
That's okay.
Okay, so what is everybody's passive perception is in the 12 range, right?
Nope. I have a 10.
15.
Oh, but I have a 17 passive investigation.
Okay. That
Mine is a 16.
Wow, everybody notices things way more than I do.
Okay. So Inkira is not surprised, and neither is Amani, but the other two are. Let me pull one of these. You see one of these guards. And several of these dogs,
I'm guessing,
come up to you. I imagine, I just put you here where you are. I imagine Frizzle was peeking around the corner to watch the building itself.
Yeah.
Amani might have been near enough here at the corner to look around and see. And I imagine you all were somewhat
Kinda
like
grouped
that
up.
as you were. Yeah. So, in Kira, you notice one of these expressionless guards that is usually just stationary is actually walking towards you and appears to be walking towards you with intent.
Hello. We're just hanging around. Everything's fine. Are we okay? I'm gonna hold my action.
Okay.
And if they attack, then I will attack as well.
Okay. Lanthan and Frizzle Fierce were both surprised, so you lose that condition as we move through your initiative, but you do not get to prepare any actions.
What about the two that were supposedly in front of the house? Like, weren't there two, like, right here?
Yes, and there,
Okay.
let me go ahead and put them back. There are two still there.
And are there any townsfolk around, or is it just these guys?
It is just these guys. Oops. Mouse wheel. There is a surprisingly amount of missing townsfolk in this area. But
Curious.
Missing or lack of? Because I feel like
Lack
those
of.
would mean
Lack
different
of.
things. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Are these
So-
dogs like just like your normal run-of-the-mill dogs? Are they hellhounds? Are they...
Give me a perception check since we've passed your turn. You could, and you were aware of them.
I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead and take a look at them. No, that's fine. If you hadn't passed your turn yet, I'd ask you to wait until you got to it.
17.
They appear to be regular dogs, but they also seem to have the lack of change in expression that this humanoid does. So instead of changing with their environment, changing as they're moving, their expression tends to go from one thing to another depending on their task. And these all seem very intent on you and are very focused on the group of you. And this one guard in front will reach out his hand as if reaching for you. And
Reaching
you
for
feel
me or for somebody else?
Yeah, for you, since you're at the corner
me.
for Inkira. Yep.
Okay.
Does a 13 hit you?
I don't believe so. Let me check just to be positive. No, it does not hit me.
So you feel as if an invisible grip tried to grab onto you and missed, and it will reach out its other hand, and with a 21, it will grab you by the shoulder.
Okay, and now I am going to attack.
Okay.
Because he made a hostile gesture. Well,
Yep.
I have a crossbow.
Okay.
And I am, or a short bow rather, and I am proficient in those types of weapons.
Sure. You can use
So I'm good. Let me just check something really quick. I can't use sneak attack. Okay, just want to be sure. Okay, so I'm going to... Is the guard who's pointing at me?
Yes, he reached out one arm and missed, and reached out another arm, and you feel a hand grab onto you. But you don't see anything.
It's this guard, right? And it's the guard with the 4 dogs, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. I really don't want to have to kill any dogs. That would bum me so out. Okay, so that's going to be a miss. Only a 7.
Okay. And with this hand, you take 7 force damage as it hits you, and you are grappled.
Mm-hmm. Can I use Uncanny Dodge to half that?
Yes, as your reaction once per turn.
Yes.
So you take 3 force damage.
And I'm grappled. Okay. Okay. That will, you know what I'm going to do? Well, you know what? It's really not my turn. This is just my reaction.
Right.
I said before, right? So I can't move or anything.
Correct.
Okay. All right, so I'm done.
So at this point, these dogs rush up.
Oh, we're in trouble.
So about this time, Frizz just goes, "Why are you guys being so loud? Oh!"
And the attack on Lanthan is a crit.
This is why I stay back away from combat.
Thankfully, these at a crit do 6 damage. And it attaches to you.
Oh, of course it does. Okay. Okay.
And then one will attack in Kira. That is a hit. And does 4 damage. And it attaches to you.
Even though I'm already grappled?
Even though you're already grappled. It does not give you the grappled condition. It just attaches.
Okay. Like
How?
Like an octopus?
Kind of. But it's... The mouth opens and opens a little bit wider than it should be able to. And just clamps on.
Ew.
Okay.
The third one here misses in Kira again. And the fourth one misses Amani. But that brings us to Amani. And you were not surprised, so you do get to act this round.
Okay. I think my first reaction would be to get this thing away from me. So I'm gonna cast Dissonant Whispers at the nearest dog to me.
Okay.
Which I'm guessing is probably like this one that I put the circle around.
Mm-hmm.
I can take that off, but probably that one.
It passes its saving throw, but I think it still takes half damage.
Let me go back to it.
Like it's half of 3d6, if I recall.
Yeah, on a successful save, the target takes half as much damage and doesn't have to move away.
Okay. So go ahead and roll the 3d6 damage.
Okay. Six. I got all 2s.
Okay. That seems to significantly hurt it, but it doesn't actually kill it. And that brings us to Inkira, who is grappled and has one of these attached to her as well.
Okay. Inkira's going... Let's see, she's grappled, so she can't really do much of anything, can she?
Just have disadvantage. And your speed is 0.
Okay. She is going to...
That up, that may be restrained.
So anything I do, an attack roll would be at disadvantage at this point?
Nope, not at disadvantage since this isn't restrained. This is grappled. It's just that your speed is 0.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm not going anywhere because I got a dog attached to my arm. I'm going to take one of my daggers in the hand. When I'm grappled, are my arms pinned to my side?
No, that is the restrained condition. So that's why the restrained condition gives you the disadvantage, where the grappled doesn't.
Okay. So I'm going to take my +1 dagger, which is in my main hand, and I'm going to stab it down through the head of this dog, even though me, as Branwen, am cringing at the thought of killing a dog.
These only appear to be dogs. When they're up close and personal to you, they are not actually dogs, and you can tell that. But yeah, they only have the surface appearance of being dogs.
And they don't make sad, dying dog noises, I hope.
In fact, they make no noise at all.
Okay.
Oh, all right. All right, well, that makes me feel a little bit better. 7, so that's got to be a hit, yeah? 15 plus 7?
Oh, yes. Yeah, that definitely hits.
Okay, and that is...
You do get your sneak attack on this because Lanthan is with melee range of... Even though he's unlikely to do melee damage, he is there.
Okay, so on this one I had 1d4 plus 4, so that's a 5 on that. And then 3d6 for sneak attack. 6, 7, or 12, 13.
13 damage total, and you manage to knock this one off of you to the ground, and it is unmoving.
Awesome. Is it dead or just unmoving?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see. I have one more attack, right?
You can do your offhand attack, yes.
Okay, so I'm going to do my offhand attack. 18 plus 6. That's got to be a hit.
Which one are you attacking?
Oh, wait. I can't add the 6 because it's my offhand, right? Because
it doesn't benefit from the damage, so it's just the die damage.
Okay, so I'm attacking this little doggy right here. Oops. I'm coloring this one right here, which is right next to the left of me.
Okay, that is the one that took damage from Amani, so...
Okay.
Perfect.
So I had an 18 to hit.
You hit.
Does that fit?
Yes, it does.
Okay. So 7... Can I do sneak attack it again, or only once per turn? I don't remember.
Once per turn.
So it's once per turn. Okay. So that's 7.
It's only what's on the die. So is that 3?
Oh. It's 4.
4. And
yeah,
4
because
is
my
exactly
offhand is 1d4 plus 3. Cool.
4 is exactly what you needed to get rid of that one as well.
Cool.
Lanthan.
I'm having to pivot and adjust here.
The fun of playing spellcaster.
Let's do some Scorching Ray.
Okay.
We are going to make 3 attacks. The first attack shall be against the one that is a little too friendly. The next one is going to be this one right here, and the final one is going to be this dude way in the back. So, first one, I have... What is my attack roll bonus here? It is a +8. Okay. That is going to be a crit on the one that is attached to me.
Yeah, you didn't really like that thing at all, did you?
No, I didn't. I didn't. The second one is going to be an 18 to hit.
That will hit as well.
And do I get 3 or 2 rays?
You should have 3, even if you cast it
3
at
rays.
level.
Okay. And then the guy in the back, I roll a 22 to hit.
22 will hit.
Okay, and these are each for 2d6. Are we doing all of the dice twice?
Yes.
Okay.
For the one that's a crit.
For the first one that's on me, that's going to... Oh, yeah, it's... I would be surprised if it wasn't dead. So there's 12, 15, 20 fire damage.
Yeah, there's not even any remains for Goblin Pickles.
Okay.
Oh.
Darn.
Sorry, Frizz. The second one will take 8 fire damage. And the final one... Whoops. The final
Not quite
one
enough to eliminate it.
will take 6 fire damage.
Okay. And they don't seem to respond to damage at all. Like, they take it, it damages them, but they give no outward presentation of feeling any different than they did the moment before.
Okay. And with that... Whoops. I keep doing the wrong thing.
If you want to just temporarily do the indicator, you can right-click and drag, and it will do that. Instead of having to switch to the indicator cursor.
That just gets me the laser pointer.
Yes. Are you trying to move? Just move to the hand and yeah.
Oh, no, I'm trying to measure distance. That's what I'm trying to do.
The thing. With the thing.
I'm going to do that.
Okay.
That's my turn.
Okay, that brings us to Frizzlefierce.
Okay, so Frizz, I have to ask first.
Mm-hmm.
How much do I care that there is combat going on right now? Because I'm not having, like, bad negative feelings about anything.
No, but you do have positive feelings towards your companions and want to keep them safe.
That's what I wanted to know. Like, do I care about stuff right now? Okay.
Yeah.
So
you are not
in that case,
like the rest of these.
Okay. So Frizz is like, I'm glad you guys got rid of some of those, but they're still hurting my friends. So she comes up here and goes to punch this dog. Does this one have a hold of Inkira?
That one does not.
Okay. Well, she wants to keep it from doing that. So that's a 21 to hit with the first attack and a 13 to hit with the second attack.
Your first attack, I don't think you can, even your minimum damage will take this one out, since Lanthan did quite a bit to it. So you punch that little creature and knock it to the ground dead.
It would have been 7 damage, if that matters. Okay.
Yeah, some satisfying crunch, and maybe even come back with a small piece that goes into the pickle.
Yay!
How big is this pickle jar?
I have
It's
more
a pickle
than
jar
one.
of holding.
Oh, okay.
It is a pickle jar of holding, it's true. Oh, anyway, and I also have more than one. In that case, I'm going to spend a key point and take my flurry of blows and come attack this guy.
Okay.
Since he seems to be the one directing those dogs around. Mm-hmm. So that's a crit.
Fantastic.
And 12 for the second hit.
Second 12 attack will not hit.
Okay. Well, the crit hits, so... That's 20 damage total.
Remind me to never make you mad.
Yeah, really.
If I mathed that right.
Okay, yeah, I'm good with 20. So that brings us to his turn. And he is going to reach out his hand toward you, Frizzle. And hit with a 23. So you are also grappled.
Do I take damage from that, or is it just grappling?
Yes.
Okay.
You take 8 force damage. And with that, he will pull both Frizzle and Inkira up to him in a giant...
I'm already next to him.
Yep. In a giant psychic hug.
Oh, no.
And I need a wisdom saving throw from both of you.
Those are the worst kind of hugs.
Oops.
Hey, I actually crit on that one.
Nice. So...
Hold on.
Question about reading spells when you're done there.
Okay. I only rolled 4 damage on that, so Frizz takes 2.
So real quick, I think I did do the math wrong. I think it was actually a 13 and not a 20. On my damage from my crit.
Oh, okay.
Because it occurred to me, I
rolled
don't
a 3.
think we add the bonus twice.
We don't.
I think it's just the
Nope.
yeah. So it's a 13.
Okay. What did Inkira roll for the wisdom saving throw? Yeah.
3.
Okay, so you take 4 psychic damage. Frizzle takes 2.
That's not awful.
Could be a lot worse.
I have a question really quick.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember whether you said this earlier or not, but the guards and dogs up by the house, are they part of what's going on right now?
They are not.
They just exist in the space.
They just exist in the space. And at the end of his turn, this guard will disappear with the 2 Frizzle and Inkira.
I didn't even get my pickles.
So I look over at Lanthan like, what just happened?
We gonna be rolling a Arcana check, and that is a 23.
The effect appeared to be a dimension door type effect, but it wasn't a full casting. It was a instantaneous ability.
If this takes me back to that cathedral, I'm going to just...
You're gonna be so mad.
That is the first place I am thinking of going, is to the cathedral, but maybe also to the memory pool, which I think is also that thing in the cathedral.
Yes.
Because I don't... Okay. Then, in that case, if the other 4 duders are just kind of hanging out right there, we're gonna, at least I'm going to recommend to Amani, yeah, cathedral, let's go. It's blasting time.
Is my flitterbell still inside that building?
Technically, yes.
Okay. But she saw nothing. There was lots of nothing, right?
There was a lot of nothing. The cart was completely empty.
Okay.
It's a trap.
I rolled Detect Akbar.
Oh, hey now. Wrong universe. Okay.
So,
this awful
I need...
place. Oh wait, I don't know it's awful yet. I'm about to learn.
I have some awful in my pickle jar.
I bet you have lots of that in your pickle jar.
As
everything in your pickle jar.
VOFFAL.
Yeah. And the AWFUL kind.
That's just your opinion.
Yeah.
So Amani and Lanthan are speeding their way over here, and I will... what's a better one here?
Do I have any spells that can make us faster?
We will give you... Oh, come on.
Got some ideas
Sorry.
here.
I can't shrink that second one down because it's in the wrong place on my screen. Okay, let me move it up here. And as you two are sprinting, it's not going to take you very long to get there. But you are sprinting here. It's not that far. If you're running full speed, effectively maybe 30 seconds to make it around that part, maybe a minute, but you're really on your way. I do need another charisma saving throw from Inkira.
Okay. Charisma?
Yes.
8.
As you blink out of existence where you were and blink back into existence here, you find again that you are disconnected from your infernal heritage. So your access to Thaumaturgy and Hellish Rebuke are gone.
Inky? What's going on?
I don't know. I feel different in some way. I feel like I'm missing something.
Yeah, we're missing our party members. How did we get in here?
I don't know. I was fighting and then I was here. But if I had to say, it's this god. He must die.
What god?
Oh yeah, she wasn't here, so you kind of have to give her some backstory.
Oh. Let's see. I have to remember that far back, don't I? So when Latham and I were here, I lost something, the same something. And now I feel that way again. Latham went off somewhere and read some books and came back. And there's also the orbs on the wall. And when you touch them, you gain a memory. I don't know what that has to do with anything here. I don't know if that's what they're guarding, is the memories.
And it's at this point that both of you become aware of a man standing in front of you.
Oh,
This icon
hi.
here. He says, think of it not as loss, but as letting go of that which you don't need.
I think I need all my memories. Thank you very much. If you don't mind, we don't really want to hurt anybody. We just want to leave and, leave you alone for a little while.
I mean, I don't necessarily want to leave. I like this place a lot, but I also like my memories, and I don't really want to say that I don't need them. They made me who I am.
But do you enjoy being who you are with all that pain, with all that fear that you've experienced?
I just usually eat a goblin pickle and I feel better.
Those do seem to bring you much joy.
Yeah. Would you like one?
It's at this point that Lanthan and Amani arrive, and how would you like to enter?
With a bang!
Okay.
Oh, well, yeah, that sounds good to me, actually.
Snap, point, it's fireball time.
Yep.
And
so
I am
we
going...
will roll a new initiative.
For all of us, or just him and I?
For everyone.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, are you kidding me?
Oh, I didn't roll great either.
4.
Okay, I did a little bit better. I did a little bit better.
I rolled a 1, and I have a +3.
Okay, we've got a 4. What do we have for Inkira?
Ridiculous.
14.
And there's something in my eye again.
Lanthan.
I got a 12.
Frizzle.
16.
So Frizzle and Inkira are both currently grappled.
I'm still trying to get my pickle jar out to offer one to this guy.
One thing to note, as we were running over here, I slapped mage armor on myself.
I like fried pickles.
You had time to do that. Absolutely. So that brings us to
13 plus dex.
So they are unaware of anything going on, as are you. So we will move through their initiatives for the first round. But before Lanthan and Amani get to the chapel, the Lord's face looks up and basically looks exactly where Lanthan is, even through the walls of the cathedral.
That's discomforting.
And then...
No. My pickles are right here.
I need a wisdom saving throw from both of you that are in there, Frizzle and Inkira.
Another wisdom saving throw. My goodness gracious.
5 again.
16.
Okay, so you feel a connection that he tries to reach out and grab you with, but Inkira, you resist it. But Frizzle, you feel connected to him. It doesn't affect your mood in any way, but you feel like every once in a while there's a connection between the two of you.
Kind of uncomfortable.
And that does bring us to Inkira.
Okay. So I'm grappled, right?
You are.
I thought she had a 14.
I did have a 14. So
yes.
I thought
Frizzle
Frizz
was
would go
unaware
before
of
me.
anything going on until the Lord did this thing, and that dropped us back into the initiative.
Oh, okay.
I guess I'm confused.
I thought her.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought her initiative was higher than mine.
It is, but the interruption of the conversation occurred right before your turn in initiative.
Okay. I'm just gonna go with it. Okay, so I'm grappled, and Kara is grappled. I don't want to get zapped out of here again. So I'm gonna attempt to break the grapple.
Okay. That
And
is
I don't know how to do that.
Athletics or acrobatics, your choice, whichever is higher.
Oh, let me see. Definitely acrobatics.
Okay.
For sure. 15.
Okay. You manage to shake off this invisible hand, and you are no longer grappled. You have a bonus action and movement left.
Okay. Bonus action. Okay. Bonus action. Let me think about this for a second here. Okay. I'm going to I can't access my hellish rebuke. Does she know, or do I know I can't access hellish rebuke?
Yes, that particular burning inside of you that you would release upon taking damage, you can feel it's there, but you can't reach it. So you know it's unavailable to you.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is, I don't see any grid markers on here, so I kind of want to move away from this guy. So he can't grab me again.
If you move, it should snap to grid.
Okay. Okay, so I'm going to come down here, and then I'm going to take my short bow, and I'm going to go for that guard that held me grappled.
Okay, you'll have to do that your next turn. It was your action to break the grapple.
Oh, okay. I thought that was my bonus action. I could do a bonus action. Oh, I can do
your
a
bonus action would be
to
disengage so you don't take attack of opportunity as you move away, I'm assuming.
Gotcha.
Sorry.
Okay. Yep. Okay, I'm good. It's done. I'm done. That's my move. Or my turn.
That brings us to Lanthan.
It's fireball time. We are going to fireball right here. And we are going to sculpt spells so that way our friendlies don't get hurt.
We're going to do what?
Thank you.
Sculpt spells. The evocation wizards thing.
I was about to say, I'm not worried.
I would not drop a fireball. It was going to
I'm a little worried.
Nuke the whole party, but this isn't going to nuke the whole party.
You are obviously not a couple people that I do know. Who would totally do that.
In other incarnations of Lanthan, he may or may not have fried a couple of allies, but that was because they decided to go get in muddy water when a lightning storm came around. But that's not his fault. So that's gonna be 10. Let's see here, 19, 24, 29, 30 fire damage, and it ignores resistances.
Okay. So we've got three failures and 2 successes. One of the successes, however, was one of the little guys, so even at half, that is still burnt up. And
we're going to move forward further.
What was that total damage again?
30. Flat 30.
Okay.
So
both of these guards take the full 30. Our Lord takes 15, and Frizzle takes 7.
That's what I thought happened.
Oh, that was a little hot.
But you take
Lanthan
psychic
found
damage,
us.
not fire damage. Frizzle takes psychic damage, not fire.
My brain.
Frizz looks around. And
it's
like she gets a headache and she says,
I guess Lanthan found us.
You feel a portion of the pain that he would have felt transmitted to you.
That also ends my turn.
So do I realize that it's the other guy's pain?
Oh yeah, you feel it connected to him. And one thing I noticed was initiatives here are off. We will do a... Oh wow, that moved everything. Okay. We will do a slight retcon, and Frizzle would have had a turn.
Okay,
Because...
I was confused about that because I didn't get to do anything.
So we will do a slight retcon. You are grappled, and you still would have been.
Okay. So in that case, I'm going to attempt an acrobatics check to get rid of that. That is, I believe, a 21. Yeah,
That will succeed.
Okay, so I get away from him, and I'm going to come over here next to Inkira, and and I'm gonna say, I don't know what happened, but I think Lanthan's fire hurt that guy, and then I felt it, and I don't like it.
And that brings us to Amani.
Okay. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is not move my character. Hold on. Oh, I see.
You moved.
Yeah, I see.
You moved Mini-Me.
I didn't even see her there. I move myself up behind Inkira.
It's okay.
I'm doing this.
You can call her Inky, like Frizz does.
That's not really my style, but okay. So I run up behind her, and I cast, hopefully, Fairy Fire.
Okay.
Maybe help out a little bit.
I don't think you can get all 3 of them because it's a 20-foot cube.
20-foot cube.
Yeah, the 2 guards in front are 30 feet apart, so you can get the main guy and one of them in the...
Okay, yeah, so that looks good.
What is going on?
Everything's going crazy.
There we go.
Explosions.
Okay, so
And
saving throw.
They
Dexterity?
have violet outlines. Not that you can see it on the guy who's in the pool of violet, but it's there.
He, however, passed his saving throw, so he does not.
Oh,
But the other guy is Fairy Fired.
Which one?
So this guy here is Fairy Fired.
Okay, this guy is not.
The main guy passed his dexterity saving throw.
He was the one I wanted to get.
Naturally.
Ooh.
And so you moved. Do you have a bonus action?
I don't know.
Your bonus action would be to give a command to Flitterbell.
Okay. Yes. Right.
So if you want Flitterbell to do anything.
We vaguely talked about that.
Yep. So a command that you can issue would be to aid, basically give the help action, tell him to move, simple things like that. We do have a couple extra abilities on Flitterbell if you wanted to use either of them.
Yeah, I'm really trying to look up that one thing we talked about that I'm not going to say out loud unless I can do it.
Yep, you can. So, and who did you want to target?
The fairy fired guy, so I can take advantage of the advantage.
I'm pretty sure that's a wisdom saving throw on his part, though.
I'm looking it up right now. Yep, okay, yes, wisdom saving throw, correct.
And your DC is... it doesn't matter, it's still low enough. There's no way your DC is below 11. So, so he fails. And he will take... how much psychic damage?
That is...
I think it's just 1d4.
1d4.
And he will have
disadvantage on the next attack roll. His next attack roll.
So you're
Wait,
annoying...
hold on.
Yep.
The spell's damage increases by 1d4 when you reach 5th level, which we are. So then it's 2d4.
Okay.
Actually.
Yep. So you're
Not to be picky.
Oh, before we do this and before we get there, I need a charisma saving throw from your little companion.
From my little companion. Okay.
From Flitterbell, yes.
All right. Well.
And one from you as you entered this place.
Okay, so want me to just roll 2?
Yep, just roll 2. I forgot you entered this place.
Okay, well, 1 is 18 and 1 is 1.
Okay, so we'll give the 18 to your companion since that's the one I called for first.
And I have a +5 for charisma, so it would actually be like a 6.
So
like
you
that makes a big deal.
You cannot use your unending breath or levitate abilities.
Okay.
You are cut off from your elemental side.
Interesting.
Okay. Not that I want to handicap myself, but you never made me roll a charisma saving throw when I came in here.
You are not one of the creature types that it would apply to.
Okay.
All right.
And you don't have a
Flitterbell's
heritage
fine.
for any of those types either, per se. Unless we want to get into the convoluted, the new multiverse.
Skip it. Is Flitterbell fine? Is that what I understood?
Yes.
Okay.
Flitterbell is fine.
Okay, and she casts Vicious Mockery?
Yep.
Okay.
And so, roll your 2d4.
2d4. Let me move those out of the way. 5.
So 2, because it is psychic damage.
Okay. Fine.
That brings us to the 2 little creatures that don't exist anymore. And then this guard over here is going to do his thing and attempt to grab onto Frizzle again with a 19 to hit.
That hits.
And you are grappled again. And you take...
I'm not next to him, so am I grappled where I'm standing?
Yes.
Okay.
There is unseen force that reaches out and grabs onto you, dealing you 10 points of force damage, and you are grappled. And then the other one, with disadvantage, is going to try to grab onto Inkira again. And that nat 20 is a waste because of the disadvantage. Okay. So Inkira is not grappled.
Yay.
Excellent.
And that brings us back around to our main guy here. And he will take a couple of leisurely steps forward, reach into his pocket, and pull out one of the glass orbs, crush it in his hand, and I need a charisma saving throw from everybody.
Gosh.
Oh boy.
Oh boy!
17.
13?
20.
4.
So, Inkira and Amani pass. I do also need one for Flitterbell.
Right. Okay. 14.
So as he crushes this orb, all of you feel a sense of fear wash over you as you get a memory of being in the corner, scared. Something is hunting you. Something is hunting you. So Lanthan and Frizzle are frightened and take 8 psychic damage. Flitterbell takes 8 psychic damage and winks out of existence.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Hey guys, I've got 3 hit points.
And
FYI.
and the other 2 of you take 4 psychic damage.
4?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm sorry, can you say that again? My character sheet wigged out. How much damage
You take
did I
8 psychic damage and are frightened.
Okay. Remind me what frighten does.
You cannot move closer to the source of your fear, and you have disadvantage on attacks and saving throws while you can see the source of your fear, which is this guy.
Perfect. Thank you.
And Frizzle rolled a 5.
Yeah.
You are stunned for 1 round as you find yourself.
I rolled a 4.
Okay.
I rolled a 4. Sorry.
As you find yourself completely buried in this memory, and in fact, this memory feels very familiar to you as you were growing up on the streets of the city, finding yourself hiding in a corner as somebody was chasing you. So for 1 round, you are stunned.
Things do not look good for Fizzlefierce.
And that is your turn, and you are no longer stunned. Brings us to
Well, that's
Inkira.
great, but...
Okay, so we still have the 2 guards, right? And
yes.
We have the main dude.
And the main dude.
Okay.
Oh.
Yep.
Dude.
Lord Tigani, as you would assume.
Okay, so he's there. They're there, so I can't do that. I don't know who to attack. I don't know who's more dangerous. You know what? I'm going to go for the guy standing right in front of me.
Okay, go straight for the main guy.
Yep. And I'm going to move up. I'm going to take my move action and get within 5 feet of him, because I want to use my daggers. And let's see, nobody's around him, so I can't do a sneak attack. Okay, so I'm going to hit with my +1 dagger. Let me hit first. 16.
So Fizzlefierce calls out, I'm on it. Oh, sorry. Inky, wait!
16 will hit.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm torn between not doing anything because I hear Frizz yell out to me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, I totally did that after your roll for a reason.
Okay. Okay, so this is 1d4 plus 4. So 6 damage on that one. And then my next attack is...
So Frizzle takes 1 psychic damage.
Oh! Good.
Hurry up, it'd be my turn.
I know. Let me think about this for a second here. The bonus action. Okay, so
It's okay, it's suspenseful.
No kidding.
But yes, you would have heard Frizzle make a noise
when you cry out. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want to hurt her again. Okay, and I don't want to hurt her again. So, and I know she's pretty hurt. Can I use my bonus action to hand her a healing potion? Or use my second attack to hand her a healing potion?
You could basically hand her the healing potion. It wouldn't actually heal her this turn. But
I was going to say, unless
she
you
would have
pour
to
it down... Yeah, unless you pour it down my throat.
Force feed her healing potions.
But if you wanted to give her your greater, because she already used hers, you could do that.
I bought 5 more. So,
okay.
That's probably a good thing.
Yeah, really. Okay. So you know what? Does she know what's in your inventory? Would you have shared that information with anybody?
Well, probably.
Yeah, we're buddies.
Yeah. I'm assuming that Inky doesn't care about stealing my health potions away from me.
No.
But
And
I mean,
your curiosity, you've probably rifled through all of our bags.
But,
with
but I
your
mean,
bonus
she
action,
doesn't.
if she does care about stealing health potions from me, I imagine that we just steal them back and forth from each other because Frizz also steals things if she feels like she has a need for it. So.
Aw, you two nuts.
so with your bonus action, basically what your options are here would be to use your bonus action attack. You could also use your rogue cunning action to disengage. Or you also, I believe, have the...
I have whales up from the grave.
Yeah, that's... You have to have dealt sneak attack to use that, so you can't do that yet.
Have I gotten back in touch with my abyssal side yet? So I can do Hellish Rebuke?
Nope, not while you are in here. So.
Okay. So I'm going to disengage. And can I move back away from this guy? Without,
yes,
if I
you've only moved 5 feet.
Okay. Okay, so and that's the end of my turn.
All right.
Sorry, that took so long.
Lanthan. That's okay. It's a complicated and tense situation.
Mm-hmm. All right. I'm having to pivot a little bit here. Let's shake things up a little bit. We can't attack the big duder here, because that'll harm Frizzle, and we don't want that. So why don't we fire a 2nd level magic missile at the giant orb floating in the background?
Yep.
Okay.
Roll
damage.
That will be 3 points of damage times 4 missiles, so 12 points of damage.
You definitely see a crack forming, and Lord Tagani's confidence wavers for just a second.
Alrighty. And then remind me, health pots are bonus action?
Yep, yeah. We're doing those as bonus action, so you can take one yourself as a bonus action.
Yep, we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that.
He's like, that's the plan.
I'm gonna consume one of those. And then when I get done with that will be the end of my turn.
Okay, that brings us to Amani.
Okay, I can do my bonus action first, right?
Yes, order does not matter.
Okay, so as my bonus action, I am going to cast Healing Word on Frizzle.
Okay.
And I hope this is okay. I did my rolls ahead of time. I rolled a 9 for her hit points.
Fantastic. She needs all the ones she can get.
Yes. And because I pay attention, I try to cast Shocking Bolt on the thingy in the middle that Lanthan cracked. Or put a crack in.
Roll me an attack roll.
I rolled 22.
Okay, you definitely hit it.
Okay, and I rolled 10 damage.
Okay.
Shocking damage, right?
Mm-hmm.
Specifically?
Lightning damage. Yes. Yeah. It cracks a bit more, but doesn't seem to do as much damage as the force damage of Magic Missile did.
Okay. Good to know.
Quick question. How long did the fear last? Is that an every round I need to make a save?
Yes. So if you do have that, roll your wisdom saving throw again.
Okay.
No, this one was the charisma saving throw.
So is it charisma or wisdom that I'm rolling?
Charisma.
14?
No, you are still frightened.
Okay, thank you.
You still have this nagging memory in the back of your head that is not yours but is yours.
Mm-hmm.
That you are living in a memory in the back of your head.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
And I believe... Yep, Frizzle would have been able to make that roll again as well at the end of her turn.
Oh, are we retconning that?
Yes.
Okay.
Because it's not going to affect your turn at all because it would have been at the end.
Oh, okay. In that case, I rolled a 20. Non-net.
Okay, so you are no longer frightened, and the stun had also worn off. But
okay.
When we get to your turn, you won't have to worry about being frightened. Lots of moving pieces. Yay! Boss fights. Okay. So... the one that has Frizzle grappled will extend its arm out again and try to grapple Inkira for a 22 to hit.
Oh, that hits.
And 9 force damage.
Can I do uncanny dodge?
Yes, you can half that damage, yes.
Okay, so that would be 5 or 4?
4. And both of you
I wasn't
are
sure
pulled...
if Go ahead, sorry.
And both of you are pulled into that hug again.
Ah! Whoops.
Oh, this is just getting ridiculous now.
I'm starting to get a little dizzy, and that doesn't usually happen to me.
And this guy will step over here. And attempt to attack Amani for a 21 to hit.
Yeah.
For 8 force damage. And Lanthan is just out of reach, so it will go ahead and pull you in on your own. There's the grid. Okay. Pull you in on your own next to it. And use its other attack to deal 6 psychic damage to you. And so that brings us to... Yep, that brings us to the Lord again, and I need a... This one is a different charisma saving throw from everybody.
17.
You succeed.
I use a different die.
You succeed.
Would you...
So we have a 16 and a 20 and...
And a 9.
A
17.
9? Okay. 17.
Yeah,
So, Frizzle is now baned.
Oh,
I don't remember what that does.
It's a D4 minus to basically every D20 roll.
Okay.
It's the opposite of guidance, or opposite of bless.
Gotcha.
So you just roll an extra D4 whenever you roll a D20 and subtract that. And he will use his bonus action. And I need a wisdom saving throw from Lanthan.
Let's use this D20. Wisdom, you said?
Yes.
It's, plus 3, 19.
19. You succeed. Okay. So that does not happen. And that brings us to Frizzle. You are grappled.
Okay, so, potions are a bonus action.
Yes, they are.
Can I use an action to chug a second potion? Okay, I'm doing that then.
Yep. You can down 2 potions at once, and for a time, we won't worry about potion interactions.
That's my turn then.
Okay. Inkira.
Okay, so Inkira is going to take her short bow and aim at the crystal on her move. Let's see. I can't use sneak attack there because nobody's around it. And can I use sneak attack on a crystal?
Mechanically, yes, as long as it fits the other characteristics, but nobody is adjacent to it, so you would have to be.
I thought maybe because it's. I thought it was inanimate, so I wouldn't really know. Okay, so let me do.
I think that's the siege weapon, basically, ability.
13 to hit.
Okay, so it hits it, and the crack continues to widen a bit, but the arrow didn't seem to do a significant portion of damage.
Okay. Let's see. Bonus action. Okay. Breaking grapple is action, right?
Yes.
Not a bonus action. Okay. And can I do my dagger as my second attack?
Not having just fired your bow.
Okay. So that's
because the bow is a two-handed weapon.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Okay,
so that'll
have your
end my
bonus
turn.
action, so if you wanted to use a potion, you could.
I'm gonna save it because I'm not really too bad. I'm still okay.
Brings us to Lanthan.
Okay, so it's fireball time, and I have been doing measurements.
Of course.
And I think, if I am reading this right, so it's not quite lining up on the grid exactly as I want, but it looks like if I fireball the center crystal, I can also catch all three bad guys in the same fireball. At the very least, I should be able to catch the main bad guy in the fireball.
It's a 20-foot radius.
20-foot radius.
The one with fairy fire is outside of it, but the other two you can grab.
Are you sure? 20-foot radius, not 20-foot diameter.
Right, it comes out as like 25 feet in a weird way.
Yeah, he is, when you snap him to the grid, he's 25 feet out.
Okay. Then
or the other one is, depending on which square you pull the crystal from.
Mm-hmm. Let's say Fairy Fire is the one who's outside, because I think he's taken the least damage. And we're gonna blast the other two. Tell me big numbers. It's a decent number of big numbers. Let's see here. That's 6 4s. And then 2 1s, but because I have Elemental Adept Fire, they're actually 2s. So that's 24, 26, 28 points of fire damage. Anything that has resistance to fire damage does not have resistance to fire damage due to Elemental Adept.
Yep, and that will break these 2 front crystals since they were in the last explosion as well.
Mm-hmm.
And it will cause significant damage to the main crystal.
Woohoo!
That is all of my 3rd level spell slots.
So as these 2 crystals shatter, I need a charisma saving throw from everybody.
We'll use the steep 20.
Well, that was better.
15?
13.
Oh, I need to make my fear save.
8?
Yeah, I got an 8 too.
Oh man.
I actually Wait. Is that no? I guess then it's less than that because I'm baned, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So 9.
Oh
Who
boy.
beat a 15?
I did. I rolled exactly a 15, and then I rolled my fear save and rolled exactly a 15.
Okay, so for one round, everybody, including the bad guys, except for Lanthan, are stunned.
Ooh.
As you all descend down into a pair of memories that wash over you simultaneously.
Oh, sounds awful.
In one of them, you see a man, and you recognize it as the Lord that's in front of you, looking in a mirror as he's preparing himself for a particularly special day. And you go through that day with him as he is married and starts his family. And then in the other memory, you see him weeping over the body of that same woman as he's trying in vain to cast healing spells, and his god is out of reach. And he does not know why he cannot cast any of his divine magic. And so we will go through one round of initiative and bring it back to Lanthan.
All right. We are going to Scorching Ray, the center Dealy Bopper again.
Okay, roll to hit.
12.
12 will not get past its natural toughness.
Okay, critical.
Okay.
And 19. So that's 2.
Yep, so roll the dice 3 times. 2 hits, one of them is a crit.
I
Could
think
be,
it's
what,
something
66
bad's about to
total?
happen.
Did I count that right?
Sorry.
Yeah. All right, that is going to be 5, 10, 8. So that's 18, 20, 23 damage.
Wow.
And you watch, as nobody else can since they are stunned and in memory, as this orb shatters. And as this orb shatters, the other 4 orbs that are intact shatter. And then you hear off to this side just hundreds, thousands, millions of tiny glass orbs popping and breaking. All the ones around you pop and break. And all of you are lost in a sea of memories from hundreds of people? Thousands of people? How many people have lived in this town over the course of centuries? And you don't know how long you were out, but as you come to, you are all prone, having hit the ground. And outside you can hear people yelling and screaming and crying out, and there's fear and there's anxiety and there's the unknown. And as you all raise to your feet, Lord Tagani stays on his knees, weeping. And we will bring it back around to his turn. The 2 guards fall to the ground, just completely empty. And
So does that release our grappling?
grapple? Yes. And the Lord is on his knees weeping, and he says, "Just leave me." And it is Frizzle's turn.
Hey. Frizzle is not one to ignore people who are hurting. And she is going to go up to him and put her arms around him and give him a hug. And with her other hand, she's going to take one of her hands off and pull out her pickle jar and set it in front of him and says, "Have a pickle. It'll make you feel better." They always make me feel better.
Oh, there's no feeling better for me.
You don't really know that yet. It doesn't really look like you've tried all that much. You've just taken away other people's feelings instead of grappling with your own.
I can feel your concern for me, but there are too many feelings. I feel everything in this town.
Sounds like a lot to go through.
It is a fitting punishment for what I did, but thank you for the pickle. And he will just sit down here on the lip of this one step, and I can't even ask forgiveness from my God because they don't even exist anymore. We were tasked with alleviating the pain of others. And when it got to the moment when my greatest pain occurred, my God was nowhere to be seen. I now know that none of the gods were accessible at the time, that the world had... that the heavens were in upheaval, that everything had been disconnected from the gods, but why did it have to occur then? And then, when the gods caught back, they found what I had done during that time when I had awoken this ability in myself, and they punished me. Cursed me to feel everything of those around me, to feel the pain that I inflicted on others. And so I came here. And in a place where nobody feels pain, neither do I. But now that's gone too.
Well, I can kind of understand because you made me feel some of your pain earlier. But, have you thought about just trying to help when you do feel others' pain and help them get over it?
Go back to what I did before. Go back to the time before when life was... when life was possible, I suppose.
It's always possible, though. And besides, we have a whole bunch of stuff to make pickles now.
I believe you can keep your pickles.
I mean, more for me. I'm okay with that. But just because you feel somebody else's pain, it doesn't mean that you can't try to do something to make it lighter instead of just make it go away. Pain is what makes us who we are and shapes how we live and the people that we become. Right along with our happiness and our other experiences. You sure you don't want a pickle?
Maybe I will find a cleric path again. But for now, Ilmater is out of reach, and I don't know if what you've done here today is good for me or not, but...
Frizzle doesn't know anything about Ilmater, but Lanthan might.
Yeah, we're rolling a that name made me go boink. 21 religion.
Yep.
Gath the player doesn't remember this too, so this is really good for both the character and the player.
So the followers of Ilmater, Ilmater was a deity back before a lot of things happened, some of which are canon and some of which aren't. But Ilmater was a deity who charged their clerics and priests with enduring the pain of others, healing the pain where they found it, and they would even put themselves in between harm and others, depending on what their proclivities were as far as their devotion, whether they were paladin or cleric or just a temple priest. But they believed that it was their duty to endure the suffering of the world so that others didn't have to, or at least that's kind of what it became. There were some sects of Ilmater that would intentionally inflict pain upon themselves in order to bring themselves closer to their god, but that wasn't really the intent. They were there to interpose themselves between others and the pain that the world can inflict on them. But they would have done it in a way, at least the positively intended ones would have done it in a way that helped people get past their pain, to heal them. And so a cleric of Ilmater would have been one that, especially one who was at the time of the level to be able to cast Temple of the Gods, would have been extremely powerful and had access to a lot of strong clerical magic.
Question.
Yep.
Would my character in her travels and in her studying and consuming of stories and songs and whatnot, would she have ever come across stories about either this god or its followers, or any ceremonial songs that they may have performed or anything like that?
Potentially.
I wasn't really sure what kind of role that would be if it came down to it.
History or religion. Okay. Either memory checks.
Just
and I believe, I wasn't 100%, so I didn't do it, but I believe Ilmater was female.
21 for either history or religion.
Nope, Ilmater is a he. So, yes, with that, you would have knowledge of a song that at least would include... this would be, literally very old music. But yeah, at 21, you do remember something.
Okay. Let's see. Can I roll an insight? I think insight's correct. Could I roll an insight check to see if I think playing him a song of his god that I know would make him feel better? Would that be insight?
Yes.
Three.
You
Oh, 6.
don't know if
so
you can
plus
determine
3.
one way or the other.
Okay.
So it would be you don't get much off of reading him.
Okay. Well, I'm going to try anyway. Because that's what I do. I'm a bard. So is that another roll, or does it just happen?
That would be a performance roll.
Performance. Okay. Come on, dice. Oh, well. Okay. 22.
Okay. So, a Song of Ilmater would be one of... It would be a sad song. One of enduring feeling and even tears and weeping, and if performed properly, would induce cathartic tears in others. And that is what we see.
Did I
going on
perform
here.
it properly?
Above a 20, yes, you did.
Okay.
So does Frizz kind of get the history now after hearing the song? And or does Lanthan actually say any of that out loud?
Oh, I would absolutely say that out loud.
Okay. In that case...
Blabbermouth.
In that case, when Amani's song is over, Frizz is still patting him on the back and still trying to give him a hug, and not entirely giving him a full hug, because she's kind of like, I feel like I probably shouldn't get quite that close right now, because he's got stuff to work through. But she says, so, it seems to me like you were trying to do what your god said to do. It's just you did it a little bit out of the ordinary. Maybe you could go back to how it was originally supposed to be. Even if he's not there, you still are.
And with that phrase, he'll look up, and the tears are just streaming down his face. And he'll nod his head a couple times, look to the heavens, and cast Mass Cure Wounds for all of you, as radiant energy infuses him. And
I'm sure he does that after I down 2 potions.
And as the radiant energy washes out of him, that is where we will wrap up for today, as you all have created a quest for this man and returned him back to his faith.
Yay!
Yay! That was good.
It was.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
I'm glad.
I did too.
So, to our audience, that concludes our adventure for this morning, and please stick around for our next segment, which will be on in a few minutes. Thank you, and you